Oh, yeah.
Okay. So last time you guys ventured up to the location you were previously told about, the House of the Moon, where you were hoping to find some hider hair of the Moon Clan, which you successfully did. A scouting group preparing for their migration back down south was there at the House of the Moon, but they needed you to help them accomplish something first. Having initially met their shaman Akram, he led you to their leader, who informed you that there was a monster that had taken up residence inside of the House of the Moon, their temple. So, with a little bit of nudging from the shaman as you guys explored the opportunity, you discovered the beast's affinity for music, and successfully, thanks to Sophia, led the beast away without killing it and attracting more of its kind. Now you guys travel with Akram through the Cinderlands to find the hunting grounds of the Cindermaw, a large ancient beast that Merrick has volunteered to cut his way out of as a symbol of bravery and a rebirthing ritual to become essentially a member of the Shoanti people. So, was voluntold. So,
That
did
term
I
is triggering for me.
feel free to speak up if you guys think I missed anything important?
Nope, I think that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then your question for today. Thinking back to your home city of Corvosa, recount for me a memory, good or bad, that shapes your resolve in your current quest.
Has to be before the campaign, right?
Or during. Just a memory from Corvosa that pushes you forward on your quest.
It'd probably be the, breakout of the hippogriffs while, the rest of the Sable Company was basically being slaughtered in the courtyard.
Two-part answer. One, Sophia's drive to do this whole mission largely stems from the fact that finding out that her dad died, basically saving her, and then part of that was like he wanted the city to be better, and it kind of just drives her forward. For Luca, what drove him forward before his death was the first part when we found all those orphans basically being taken advantage of by Gage and Lamb. Just kind of drove him to be like, okay, even if I do rescue my daughter, something needs to change. So that's my answer.
Awesome.
Vic's moment would be one of the last times he spoke with his father. His dad was explaining why he had kicked all of the drug dealers of Shiv out of the bar, and that he said something to Vic along the lines of, "This is my home and I've got to keep it clean." And that line just keeps going through Vic's mind over and over again when he thinks about this whole situation in Corvosa.
Here it'd be kind of a combination of his inability to do as much as he wanted to during the plague and the people he got mixed up with again, needing to sort of right what he feels are wrongs, even if he did create the cure that stopped the plague ultimately.
So Kier wants to get the other dealers off his turf.
I mean, he is the one who cooks.
Yep. Trying to think of the exact wording I want to for Theobald here. There's the joke answer, and then there's the real answer that's buried underneath it. Because, like, gun to Theobald's head, he'd say his resolve comes from the fact that these other idiots won't help him kidnap his niece to get out of the city. But that implies that there was something else that was a bond formed with Cressida. So I'm just trying to think about what that would be.
Yeah, you're good. I don't expect everyone to have it off the fly.
Probably I think the most like catalytic memory would probably be it would happen during the campaign is when Cressida wanted Theobald to take credit for curing the plague, and he was against it. And then right there in the middle of the living room, we had just a big familial argument where she was just saying, why don't you just actually give a shit about people? And he says, why do you care about anyone? I really feel like Cressida and Theobald give each other a lot of shit, but some of that comes from, at least on Theobald's force, a small area of respect. One of those, I think everything you're saying is fucking stupid, but I privately respect your stubbornness. I would never say that to your face, but
I like it. I like it.
you're wrong, and it's my job to inform you of that.
You're wrong, and you should feel bad about being wrong.
Yes,
You're wrong,
your
and you
spine-
should feel bad about that.
yeah, but your spine makes it worth correcting you. Yeah, that's my answer.
Did we hear one from Vic?
Yes, he said his last conversation he had with his father.
Gotcha. What was that last conversation about, Vic?
I must have cut out for you. He thinks back to one of the last conversations he had with his father, and his dad was explaining why he kicked all of the Shiv dealers out of the bar, which eventually led to them assassinating him. But he said something along the lines of, "This is my home, and I've got to keep it clean." So that line keeps running through Vic's head as he thinks
Okay.
about Corvosa.
Yeah. I like it. All right. So here we are, still in the middle of the fucking desert.
Taking our way to a giant worm lair.
Mhm.
Yep.
Where our friend's going to let himself get eaten.
That is currently your plan.
Oh yeah, I just remember that you guys were like talking about finding special ways to season me along the way.
I think you can move us back to the hex map now, Michael.
Yeah, I forgot I had moved you.
Yep.
Pop you guys back over.
There we are. Yeah, because we're about halfway there.
Oh, I thought this blue check was us. I was like, oh no. We reverted back to that old camp. Yep.
We're right there.
Here, you should eat some of the sage and rosemary I found growing. It's good
I
for your
mean-
skin.
Sophia still has all those drugs.
I have some drugs. Excuse me.
He's not.
What are you looking for?
She's not dealing, just carrying. Poor friend.
Officer, those were Merrick's.
Yeah.
Just holding this for somebody.
All right. So, I think we did the one for last time. So, and if we didn't, then oh well. Pick a direction you guys want to move. Forward.
I got to interrupt. I just overheard my neighbor say, "Guys, don't choke your sister."
That's hilarious.
They're like, like not shouting at him, but just in real high pitched tone. Guys, don't choke your sister.
Once I was staying at a motel, and gosh, the funniest goddamn argument I've ever heard was happening outside my door. I had to stop myself from laughing loud enough for them to hear me so they didn't start accosting. But it was like one guy, and I guess there was one with a girl, and he comes in and he's like, I guess something, I forget their exact words. Imagine very angry, but this was the situation that I understood happened that made these two men argue. It was this girl's birthday party. She has a boyfriend and a boyfriend. You catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the boyfriend at some prior event walked into the room and saw the girlfriend sitting with the male friend. They're like in bed. That was the thing. He was like, in bed? And the girlfriend had invited the dude who'd gotten cut canoodling with her to the birthday party, and now they were like in a fist fight over it. And I was like, oh my fucking god, this is not real. Anyways, that just gave me a flashback. People watching's a good pastime, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's kind of like after I learned some sign language. If you ever see two deaf people get into an argument in a store, it's great because no one ever
happened.
It happens more than you'd think, because since most people don't ASL, deaf people are pretty comfortable with the fact that they can have really animated arguments and no one will notice. And then there's just me around the corner being able to pick up snippets of it and going, "Oh shit!"
What's the sign for stop shouting at me? Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice.
They got problems in the bedroom, is all I'm saying. Anyway, just because it's completely silent, but like everything is on the table.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very unique form of eavesdropping.
I spy on deaf people. No, it's not weird.
Yeah.
No, of course they don't know. I know.
Yeah. My ASL's not that good, so I only am able to really pick up the gist of things, never like the specifics. Especially like professional signers, they're just ridiculously fast.
Every now and then there'll be a guy that doesn't know sign language that gets a professional signing job that ends up on TV.
So often too.
This man is waving his arms in the air.
Yeah.
And like you don't need to know sign language to tell he doesn't know sign language.
Oh yeah.
You're like, there's no order to this.
We looked up a woman who got convicted of doing that, and
That's a
Found
crime?
the video. I don't know. She got
Fraud?
accused of doing it. It was confirmed that she was doing it, and she was fired or whatever. But she was working at a police office, and like the day she got hired, something famous or something important happened, and so they were on TV with the guy giving a press release from the police department, and she had to sign next to him. And as you're watching, like you said, it's not just waving the arms around, but it's like she knew 4 legitimate signs, and she keeps repeating those same 4. And you're like, wait a minute, she just did exactly what she just did before. Wait, oh, she just did it again. She just keeps doing those same signs over and over again. Surely
I
he's
don't
not saying
speak
the
sign
same
language.
sentence. Yes. Do you know where the bathroom is? Do you know where the bathroom is?
I know they're not asking for the bathroom that much.
To answer your question, though, professional interpreters do need to actually be certified. So if you are not certified, it is considered lying on your application. Like I said, I had an engineering degree. So it's not like a jail time offense, but it is something you could be fined for.
Yeah, it's a fireable offense too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, they're not going to keep you on board.
Well, you lied
You
about
never
it. We're gonna
know.
let you go this time, but we're gonna need you to translate this. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, put you on probation.
Jesus Christ. All right. What
Yep.
direction are you guys going?
This way.
All right. You guys don't need to roll for this day because in the middle of the day, before much is able to really happen, Theobald,
Dun, dun, dun.
you are going to receive a message inside of your head.
All right.
The message is, let me pull this back up again. I want to get it right because it's going to be a certain amount of words, but
Right.
there it is. Okay. You hear, return to Corvosa. An opportunity to strike on our enemies has presented itself. The Mantis and Maidens will fail. Seek us in the Dead Warrens.
Now, if this is the message spell, don't I know who this came from?
It is sending.
Oh, sending.
I don't think you know who it is when they do sending spells. They have to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that. It doesn't appear that you need to know them.
The subject recognizes you if it knows you,
Yeah, that's what I
So-
was thinking of.
so they would know who's sending this message, I guess.
Yeah, unless it's someone I don't know.
Yeah, if it's someone you don't know.
Someone you don't know.
Mm-hmm. But if I remember correctly, I get to respond to sending, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe, unless that's the 5e version.
I'm looking at the
Double
spell.
check.
I don't see a response.
Oh yeah, there isn't. This one doesn't get an automatic response like 5e.
Ah, good lord, too many systems.
I know.
All right.
Really thought you were gonna reply. Please take me off, or please put me on your no call list.
No, I was gonna come up with a 25-word phrase that sounded like a bunch of spy code words. The eagle flies south in May. But no, it sounds like I just accept it and move on.
It's always eagles. It's never, a nice pigeon or a
Mhm.
raven or a sparrow. Just always eagles.
The
Eagles
narwhal
fly in.
barks plaintively in the moonlight.
There you go.
Yeah. The chicken
Owl bear
masticates
shits in the
cinnamon.
woods.
The chicken masticates the cinnamon stick on Arbor Day.
There you go. I like these much more. masticates.
Yep.
I don't think
Yes.
chickens can masticate. I think that's the process
That's what
of
makes it a
grinding food
code
in
word.
your teeth. Chickens don't have teeth, so
They
I'm not
also
sure they
don't
can.
work at all on Arbor Day.
Yep. The chicken unions don't allow it.
Yeah, they won't take it.
All right.
A lot
but,
of them violated it, which is why they're all dying.
You know where we'd be if all the chickens stopped showing up to work?
I mean, we're already at like $18 for a 12-pack practically.
That's what I'm saying.
just
foul play.
jokes aside, for clarity, it was meet me at the Dread Warrens.
The Dead Warrens. If you remember
Yeah.
the place, the original hideout of Rolf Lamb that Cressida Croft had originally assigned you to as one of the end of book 1, your last mission
Gotcha.
in book 1, was to go there and take him out, but he wasn't there. Only his army of deep gnome people. I forget what they're called. They're not deep gnomes, but they're
Yeah.
another word for them.
The Dero.
Different type.
Yeah.
Darrow, that's it.
Cool, I'm just writing that down. That'll be too easy for me to forget, so I just want to make sure I get that. I keep that to myself for now. All right.
Okay. You're not telling any of the other party members what you're saying?
Not at this current time.
All right, then tell me what you guys are doing. We'll just say that was an uneventful day then.
Mm-hmm.
What
I picked
direction?
the last deck. Someone
This
else
one.
did.
All right. Someone roll me a d10.
Wow, that was fast.
Oh, I already had the little roller up, so I just had to click the button.
Draw.
Five. Tonight, a dust storm is going to roll in and impede your progress for a day, unless you guys have a way to get around the dust storm.
What about the dust storm impedes us? Is it lack of sight, inability to breathe,
Combination of
navigate?
you can't look, you can't breathe, the wind's blowing on you, so it's harder to move. Just every way slows you down.
Not much.
We got too many people. I can't teleport us, so I could, but the truth speaker is here, so
Don't sound so bitter about that.
Still on the stick, man.
Here, what if you just threw all your bombs at it?
Yeah, I got nothing.
yeah, nuke the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just checking to make sure, but I don't think I have much either.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
it would just be losing the day.
I was just seeing if I had any elementals that had like control weather yet, but I don't think so.
I'm just
Who
quickly
is the
checking.
old man? A druid?
I don't know. I
The old
don't
man-
think.
The old man is not a druid.
He
Akram.
is, however, a weather mage.
I was just trolling you guys.
Just quickly checking all the conjuration spells because I have shadow conjuration. I don't
Please
think
hold
so.
while I look at every single spell in this spell book.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't got nothing.
you're nothing at third level concentration can do it. Unless you guys want a wave of blood that's not real.
Going back to my tent.
All right. So you're gonna, I imagine, keep
Mm-hmm.
everything to yourself continuously this whole time. So where are you going now?
See this one. And I would like to do some hunting, see if I can make up for some provisions.
We do have that spoon of sustenance that I have that also. Let me see.
Give me a survival check.
Yeah, I got the rain of sustenance. I forgot about last time, so
Yeah, so you don't have to feed, and mine can feed up to 4
Six.
people per day.
Oh.
So I think we're pretty good on food right now.
Okay.
I mean, you can still hunt and see to feed for what's his name.
Nimbus. Yeah, I'll do that.
Or if your character doesn't want to eat too many spicy foods, because that spoon is hot.
Did you catch a cow?
Does a 20, Michael, does a 23 yield a food for the hippogriff?
A 23 will feed your hippogriff for. Are you just looking to
Just the hippogriff
just for
specifically,
the
since
just for
we
you,
have food.
just for the hippogriff tonight?
Or however much extra
Yeah.
rations I could get.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to feed your hippogriff for tonight, and that'll be that.
Okay.
All right. So after 3 days having passed,
Oh, hell, it's a long sandstorm.
someone else is going to get a mission, or is going to get a sending spell sent to them. I think probably Vic will be the next one to get one. And Vic will receive a sending spell and say, it'll say something along the lines of, we received no response to our previous message. An opportunity presents itself in Corvosa. Please return, or have your wizard send us some sort of message if that is possible at this moment.
Hello, who is this?
Is that someone
It's
that?
not how sending works.
Yeah, is that someone who Vic knows though? Because it is worth highlighting how Theobald wasn't there the last time we went into the Dread Warren.
All right, Vic, give me a knowledge local.
Crack my fingers.
We're gonna see if
What are your
character
biscuits?
knows who this is.
The same spell you can answer.
Not in Pathfinder.
Yeah. Here, I'll copy it for you. Subject correction. Recognize you. If it knows you, it can answer in a like manner immediately.
I'm looking on the actual sending spell on D20 PFSRD.
Same here.
And that's so weird.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Where does,
I'm looking at Archives of Nethys, which is the one officially sponsored by Paizo, and it does say you can respond immediately.
you can? Where does it say that?
Are we sure we're not looking at second edition on archives?
I'm certain I'm not looking at second edition right now.
It's the
Oh,
third
there it is. It
sentence.
can answer in a like manner immediately. Okay,
Yes.
there it is.
Yeah, wouldn't have changed anything for me, but
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like a single line hidden in like the center of the paragraph.
Yeah, yeah.
In that case, I would have said something like, "Is your wizard still in commission?"
Vic would respond, "Who is this? Where would we meet? The wizard is fine.
how are you?
Is there cheese?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
And how did you get this number? It is unlisted. Perfect 25.
That's good. My brain's unlisted.
Mm-hmm.
Your magic spells.
You didn't put your tinfoil hat on today, so it clearly is listed.
Yeah, he'll block collar and put on a tinfoil hat.
All right. The message you receive in response. Let me make sure I got the word count right real quick. Okay. Got to shorten that a little bit. Like 5 words over what I wrote.
Mm.
Okay, that's perfect 25. I just took what I wrote before and added their name at the front of it. And you answer that knowledge local. Yeah, I would say because you're involved in the church, you would probably know other churches. So, Vic, you would recognize that name as the High Priestess of Pharasma in Corvosa.
All right. Well, he would share that the High Priestess of Pharasma had contacted him and asked for us to come back. Opportunity to strike at our enemies has presented itself. The mantis and maidens will fall. Seek us in the dead warrens.
Well, that's who that was. Take a drag from my pipe.
Oh yeah, they also asked if you were alive.
Yes, I usually make it a habit of not responding to messages beamed directly into my head from people I don't know. Happens more often than you'd think.
Are you sure they're magical voices rather than other voices in your head?
You can deal with so many paralegals in hell before you start realizing they get clingy.
Hmm.
What make of you this bishop, then? Do you have any history? I've never met them.
Just the common contacts between the clergy and the city. I don't know them personally.
We hand them the dead people after we empty their pockets.
No, don't say it like that. We hand them the deceased after they've paid their last tolls.
After they pay their outstanding debts.
Strange, then, that the bishop of the Church of Pharasma would be reaching out to people that they have apparently never met. Is
Well,
it not?
Try as we may, we did not do an excellent job of keeping a low profile in the last few months.
That much I am unconcerned about. Phrasma is the goddess of fate, so divination and information gathering is not the hardest, and we've hardly left anything but a trail of alive people in our wake.
Mary,
mean-
that's not bad.
If it also gets the assassins off our backs.
Well, I think it's definitely where we should head after we finish. Merrick's journey.
Still have not discovered the fortress that we came out here for. Turning to Kavorza too soon could be dangerous, if not outwardly a trap.
Does feel like a trap. Would you be able to
We
give
ask him for more details.
I don't know how to reconnect the call. I got this funny doo 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 sound, and he didn't respond.
Would one of the priests of Pharasma be someone we should be concerned about, though? Like, from you said that's who you knew them as. They seem to be not really in the fight one way or another. They're more concerned with the dead and the undying, aren't they? I'm not sure all the politicking of that.
And that's about the
Everyone has
extent of my knowledge.
Everyone has an agenda, girl. You should be wary of them regardless.
So the reason I bring it up is because I'm pretty sure everyone's heard the rumors of the queen getting stabbed in the chest and then being fine. I feel like if that rumor spread around, the Church of Pharasma might not like that, so they'd be more inclined to be on our side. So I feel like we
Especially
should
since
at
I
least.
thought she was stabbed in the eye.
I thought she was stabbed in the chest. I don't know. Either way, she was stabbed and she was completely fine, like unharmed. So it's one of those things that I'm like, should we at least think about it? Because if we
I'm
left
thinking-
here and came back, like we have our bus ticket here, as she like points at Theobald.
I don't know what a bus is, but all right.
We have our wagon ride here.
I think we should complete what we're trying to attempt right now with and he points towards the old man, not Theobald, the other one, and have him witness it while it's all convenient. Then we could jump out of here on the boost ride, and he could bring us back.
It's risking an awful lot for an awfully small amount of information. It's not impossible that they could plenarily lock a location after we teleport in. And then we're stuck in Corvosa, very far away, in an area where they know exactly where we are.
Or we could just continue with what path we're on.
I would recommend getting the Cindermaw done regardless. Came this far.
Yeah, it's been multiple days of hell sitting here through these weather conditions. Why do people
I'm
even
sure
live out here?
at least a few of you are interested in seeing me get eaten.
Hell is hell. The
No.
Cinderlands are the Cinderlands.
Akram, listening to all this, strokes his sparse chin hairs, and he says, "Well, it does make you wonder why it was urgent enough for them to send to you. Did you leave anyone in the city who knew where you were going?"
Merrick looked down to Kier. Kier's here. The seneschal was left with the hippogriffs. That's all I know now.
There's the what was it? Friend, lover, sibling, family of Theobald that was there?
Cassandra.
Cressida.
Niece. A little disturbing that you listed lover in that list.
But
Like,
she didn't know
I've never
what we
met
were
her.
doing.
What do you want from me?
Also, great job, everyone, saying all the very pertinent details and names in front of the stranger. Hi, hello.
Sophia looking at him like, I'm a teenager. What do you want from me?
Better, obviously.
Well, you get what you pay for.
This is only cost me money.
I know. I just figured I'd bring it up. Like, we should be concerned about it, but if we all want to just keep marching, let's just keep marching.
Say we keep marching.
If we need a speedy getaway, I don't have 2 teleportation spells prepared today anyway.
There you go.
We go at least one more day.
Fair enough. That answers that.
As we're walking, I will discuss the fact that they didn't directly answer any of my questions except for identify themselves with a name that's known throughout the city. So the more I think about it, the less inclined I am to believe that it's a good thing.
What were your questions? I told you who they were and why they were calling you. So that was at least 2 of them.
I don't remember.
I think they answered all of your questions.
Did
Go.
they?
Yeah.
That's what. Who they were.
I think you just asked who they were and why they were calling you. And
Why
if
they
you
were
asked anything
calling.
more, how am I going to fit
And where they are. Or where
and
we
where
should
they
go.
are, which is the Dead Warrants.
Yeah, so they did answer everything.
Okay,
I mean, I
cool.
just distrust everyone. So
Yeah, you're starting to rub off on me. I'm gonna change places in line.
what, does anyone else here have access to divination magic?
I might be able to summon something that can. Give me a second. As she consults her book, that clearly not a romance novel.
I can detect scrying. Maybe I ought to do that right now.
It couldn't hurt.
Akram can cast Sending, but he isn't familiar with anyone that you'd be sending to.
Yeah, I was more thinking stuff like divination or
Although it says, I wonder what familiar means, because this is familiar.
It just means he has a pet that can do different things.
He has
No.
a magic pet.
yeah.
Well,
I was more referring to like the Wheel or Woe spells or the ability to like summon something to ask questions. Those kind of divination spells. Just so it could be all like, is this a trap? Wheel or Woe?
he's got prayer. So you can ask God.
Fuck that guy. He can't even keep his creation working. I just cast detect scrying. So if we are being scryed,
You are not being scried. Though that was one thing I forgot to go over. You guys were being scried last time by crazy elf lady who took the artist.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Vouse.
I remember that.
Larry Voss.
well, now that I've cast this, it stays on for 24 hours.
Yep.
It's kind of nice.
Yep, I got nothing in my
You gotta be
list of
super
stuff.
paranoid, but
All right. You guys basically decide you're staying here?
Well, gotta do at least one more day because I
Okay.
only had one teleportation spell prepared. And we're
Yes.
not jumping in.
Postpone the decision one more day. What direction are you going?
And Merrick's got a date with the worm.
As you guys get closer and closer to the Cindermaw's hunting grounds, you notice less and less flora and fauna.
So he would ask, I'm gonna say something. Akba, what was his name?
Akram.
Akram. He would ask Akram how this process usually goes about. Are we in danger of getting eaten as we approach, or is there like a reservation you make with the worm? Is it civilized, or is this just a completely wild process?
We will wander its current hunting grounds until it finds us. It won't take long. He looks around the desolate landscape and he says, "We're awful close to a river, yet not a beast of burden or gargoyle to be seen. This is the power of the Cindermaw."
I think from here on out, Merrick will probably be taking a good amount of lead ahead of the party and just kind of walk with heavier footfalls.
I'm gonna check.
He very
Fall
much,
into the dirt.
yeah, he very much looks like he's pouting because he probably is.
After a little bit of walking with Merrick in the front, Theobald will pick up the pace to go over to Merrick. This orphan, a moment.
Yeah.
I reach into my robe and I pull out a glass vial that has a single, what looks like a golden raspberry that you recognize as the shrink berries I gave to your last hippogriff to turn it into its baby form.
Mhm.
Here, take this. I don't know what sort of pseudo spiritual diarrhea that man's been having you be drinking, but it's better to take precautions.
Our character was this too. It shrinks. It would shrink
If
me.
it eats if an animal, a beast type, eats this berry, which is be very easy if you're on the inside of its body, it does a will save or it reverts into its youngest possible shape, like a puppy.
Oh. Thank you.
There's a 50-50 chance that if it's just contracts with you inside, you might get crushed to death.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's
if
a
its
in
innards
case of
are
emergency.
boiling and dissolving you.
Yeah. Yep. Very much in case of emergency. I
Better to roll
greatly
the
appreciate
dice.
that.
It'll be more useful to me kicking than as a corpse.
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you.
a free word of advice that you didn't ask for. Be suspicious of anyone who tells you that jumping into the maw of a giant deadly animal is actually spiritually rejuvenating.
Valid. But I don't know. I could use some change in what better symbolic way at the very least, even if there's nothing mystical about it. Like skydiving, I guess.
Who would dive out of
Symbolism
a
is-
perfectly good sky?
Who would dive off a perfectly good hippogriff?
Yeah. Listen, symbolism is for young children who still like jangly keys. If anyone's doing you a favor and sounding like they are, that's either because they have a dagger to your throat or a hand in your pocket. Usually both. Be wary of that.
Either way, I'm doing this. So if I have to do it either ways, I might as well take a
Sure.
spiritual spin on it for my own mental health after the past couple while.
If you'd rather mule about your problems than work past them, that's on you. I gave you the berry. I start heading back to the rest of the group. So yeah, have one shrink berry.
After a while, Vic would find himself up there closer to Merrick and say, "Look, I've never been inside belly of a beast, but I imagine it's going to be hard to get out. I can hit you beforehand with a freedom of movement spell, which will help you get loose and or fight from the inside of the animal.
Okay.
It may actually prevent you from being swallowed to begin with, so you may have to let the worm eat you to begin with."
Well, that's the plan. And either way, do you have anything to help with the acid?
Yes, I can help you with some resist energy.
Take everything I could get.
This is all presuming that he doesn't pull up and ambush us all.
Also true. No, if you get the opportunity, go for it. But if not, well, I'll do my best.
Let's see. We're level 11, so I'm going to go ahead and give you resist energy acid, because that'll last for 110 minutes at this point. And then
Are we close to Cinderma at all yet?
We're not at the ground
Yeah.
quite yet. That's why I gave him the item now.
Yeah.
I just said we were in the area, but I mean that's 2 hours worth of coverage, so we'll be close soon, and then I can just keep hitting you with that, and do that 6 times a day.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, that shrinking berry's only a decent will save, but hey, choice between that and dying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll get a natural one.
Be hilarious if it did. Make for an
And it
interesting
just
scene.
shrinks around you and you explode out as it gets too small, and you're like, "Does this count? I killed it."
It just ends up as like a cast on your arm.
It's a sock now.
Yeah, just swallowing your hand. All right, keep moving.
Well, that depends. Do you want me to teleport you to the city or not?
Take a few minutes potentially to meet with them and then bounce back, right?
Is a risk.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
going to
we
be
do it.
eaten by a giant worm here in a few days, so
Is
risk,
Akram
risk.
going to go with us?
Yeah, but this one risks me. Also, no, I can't teleport that many people.
So we
If we
just
go,
ask
he
the old
stays
man
here.
I think that's rude to just ask the old man to stay here in the middle of the desert in a dangerous area by himself while we go gallivanting off for who knows how long, or if we'll ever come back. And he's given us the time to come this far. I say we finish the worm quest with him, and then we head out.
They'll probably reach out to us in another day or so if they haven't got an answer, or we might miss a window.
I have a sent scroll of sending.
Might be worthwhile. Let them know if make sure that an extra day or two won't spoil the opportunity.
All right, then. I grab one of my 2 scrolls of sending. All right, Vic. Oh, right. You're a god botherer. Only I can cast this. All right. Give me a moment to format the message.
To
God
whom it may
follower.
concern.
You said a
No
God follower. I was like,
soliciting.
A god botherer. Yeah.
why am I a godfather?
Please take me off your call list.
Let me quickly write out a letter in binary.
Well, you're not going to get a lot said in 25 words to in binary, or maybe actually.
Correct. It would be
It's not
everything.
It's not characters.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it is characters, but it's not words. It's all just a string, so technically it's all one word, if you think
There
about
you go.
it.
That's not a character limit.
I don't know
but
how
whatever.
binary works if you can't tell. I'm sure that's something like how something works. Zeros and ones, right? That's what's in the movies.
I mean, if it's similar to like powering off, it's
You guys remember that old website that we
pause.
put up? The website didn't do anything except it had like a complicated like sci-fi computer database, like computer look to it, and you would just type anything into it, and there would be random code would appear on your screen just to look like you're some type of cyberpunk hacker.
Mhm.
Know that, but I would like to see that.
Yeah,
I do remember that one.
yeah.
That was fun to play with when I was, I think in high school. I remember seeing that website. It's been around a long time.
Find it, send it to me. I'm interested. All right. Good. Go.
Yep, there it is.
I see it now. That's hilarious. It's
Yep.
all gibberish. Even I know that.
So you're just sitting in public like ba 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 ba.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm hacking into the mainframe.
All right.
Oh my god, that is funny as shit. I'm so gonna pull this up at work and have somebody walk in. What? Nope, nothing.
Who's he? Oh, he's our net runner.
Yeah.
Right.
This is hilarious.
All right, guys, you caught me. My entire banking career has been an Ocean's 11.
You should get like a coworker buddy in on it with you, where like you're there doing like the hacker type, and your bike like I think Cove's up to something sketch. Did you want to peek over his shoulder?
Look, I'm really gonna need that raise, turn the computer screen around, or I'm going to hit enter.
Or every fucking bank on the eastern seaboard is gonna flip off the map.
You do know that I have the login, the FDIC website. So there we go. Oh my god, this is so much fun.
Now you know what we were all doing back in school, Cope.
Trying to think. Is there a question I could ask a cleric of Pharasma that only they would know the answer to reasonably? I could do a knowledge religion.
Let me think.
The meaning to death.
Which of their core sacred secret tenets do I know?
So unfortunately, Pharasma not a lawful god. Like if this was a cleric of Asmodeus situation, I'd just be all like, swear to Asmodeus, and then that makes it a contract, and that's a bad idea to break that.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that is the catch. It has to be something that also you would know what the answer to is.
Well, if
So I
you
can
could
roll a
do a
knowledge.
knowledge roll, yeah. Knowledge religion.
Okay.
Pop quiz hot shot.
Yep. Da-da-da, 29.
Okay. Just hard DM
I-
rolling it because we can't think of something it seems like we're doing, right?
I mean, I could probably know. I read up a lot about Pharasma for Theobard. My website's too fun. So I could probably pick one, and then you can just tell me if they respond correctly.
Yeah, if you want to pick one, that's also fine.
Mm-hmm. 13, 15, 16, 17, 19. See. Ba-ba. Oh, I don't find the name for this, but anyway, there we go. Because there is a high-ranking divine servant of Pharasma that's fated to take her place when Pharasma dies. I was looking for the name, but there is a correct one. Which is like, it's not. I researched this for Barrel Walker, and it's one of those things where it's known, but it's not like a common street person would know that off the top of their head.
Okay. I'm not sure I know this Gumbo.
Well, you could just say he knows.
You
the
could just say
response
they
correctly.
respond, because it would just be one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, with whoever that is. Because I'm looking at Pharasma, it doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah, it's one of the prime psychopomps.
Every time I hear the name Psychopomp, it's always a funny sounding name for what they are.
Yep.
It's in my mind. It sounds like a poodle mix name, like Labrador.
I got a
it's like a
purebred Psychopomp at home.
It's kind of a fat fluff ball in my mind.
You
Little
die
fat
and you're taken
football.
to the afterlife by a fucking pompadoodle.
Damn pompadoodle. Didn't want you in life. I don't want you caring for me in death.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Atropos,
Or Atropos.
the last sister.
Huh.
Yeah, lots of really interesting cosmology stuff.
Okay.
trying to verify because it seems like just the kind of thing some Red Mantis assassins do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep, that's 18.
All right, I have received the response. Are they highly educated assassins or genuine? Either way, I told them we will be arriving in 4 days, which means we shall get there in 3.
Clever.
All right.
Because a wizard is never early nor late, arrives precisely when he means to.
Oddly, my wife was watching Lord of the Rings in the other room.
Those are good movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Let's go throw America into a worm pit.
Yeah, we have delayed this for far too long. Let's get on with the show, man.
Yeah,
And you sure we don't want to just run that errand real quick and just get that sorted?
Shut
and-
up.
Oh, be quiet and go get eaten.
yeah. Go round home plate with this worm.
Okay. What direction are you guys going? Up or down?
Here, I'd imagine.
Okay. You guys continue to encounter nothing on your way to the Cinder Maw, but Vic, as you guys get closer and closer to the hunting grounds, you feel a sharp pain strike your ankle.
Oh God, it's got me.
Get out!
The gout's finally taken him.
Going to
And
immediately cast freedom of movement on himself.
You look down and you see a rat is biting your ankle, a Corvosan sewer rat.
Oh, that's a hit, man.
Gonna grab him, pick him up. What is this thing doing out here?
How did
I'm
it
gonna
get all the way
cast
out here?
comprehend languages so I can speak with him.
That doesn't let you speak with animals, I think.
Yeah, you need to actually cast Speak with Animals.
Oh, I meant speak with animals.
Well, if out of character, doesn't Vic already be able to speak with rats? Because we don't know this, but he was able to
Yes.
understand a rat before.
I was bluffing
Yes, that's what I
to
thought.
explain why I'm able to speak with him
Mm,
and say, well, what are you doing out here?
I'm just gonna drop a quick spell crap. Like, that's not what that spell does. He's fibbing, but I keep it in my skull.
Yeah. The rat squeaks out a message. It says, follow me, Leopo is here.
I'm scrambling to remember who Leopo was.
He
Your
was the guy.
assistant.
Yeah, he was your assistant. The one that was always sassing you. That you kept giving him all of your work.
Oh, Leopo. Shouldn't he be working? As it seems, we've got one of my previous contacts out here. All right, lead the way. He would put the rat back down. Follow it.
All right. The rat is going to take you guys on a detour a bit closer to the river.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually in the horizon, you see two specks off in the distance, which gradually grow into two human forms, one slumped over on the ground and one sitting upright next to him with a pot filled with water. And as he turns around and looks at you, Cope, you recognize that this is your assistant, Leopo, who so many months ago came to Corvosa after his parents were slain by the Ashwing gargoyles. And the charitable people of the Bank of Abadar gave him gainful employment. But here he is out in the desert.
Leopo, you've traveled far. What's happened?
Okay. You speak up. And he turns around. Let me see. Got stuff here. Okay. You all hear. Yeah, his head snaps up, and you see that he's much thinner than the last time you saw him. His lips are cracked and dried. And he stands up and stumbles up to you until he's about 2 inches from your face, and he goes with a hoarse voice. He says, "Where were you?"
When? Here, and he gives him a water flask to drink.
Yeah, he would drink from it, and then he would. Okay, what do you say?
Sit down. Tell me what happened.
What happened? We looked for you, Vic. Look, I knew you were a rat. I knew you were a were-rat from the very beginning. Obviously, you could understand every word that my pet told you. But one day,
moving past the obvious. What else?
As everyone shifts to look at Vic.
Is that why he kept stealing my cheese?
What?
and once you left, I went to go look for you in the sewers, and I found the rat folk there, still waiting for you, just like I was. Well, them and he would look over at the man slumped over onto the ground, who appears to be either passed out or sleeping. He would say after a month, Gearig's kicked us out. Us and all the rat folk who sought non-violence. And we came out here looking for you.
Well, this is a terrible place to resettle.
It's where Gearig said you were going.
Gehrig was the mean rat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the meanware rat that
Okay.
wanted to rise up, that you convinced him that you'll find him a new homeland, and then you welched on it for like 2 months.
Man, I found him a place, and they just said they didn't like it.
Well, they're dead, Vic.
All of them?
Except for who you see sitting here. They followed
Right.
you, Vic.
That
They
the old
thought you
woman?
were going to save them. They thought you were going to help them. And you see his fists are clenched and he's shaking. They died in the Cinderlands, every single one. Dehydration, thirst, I was able to mend it off for a while with my own abilities, but I didn't have enough.
Yep, oh, I'm so sorry for the struggles you've been through. Out of character, he was from the Cinderlands?
Just
That why?
outside of the Cinderlands. Like,
He was
Yeah.
an Ashwing, so that's why he would
He
have
was
come here to
he
look
was
for me.
killed by the gargoyles. Parents were.
That is a very large burden for you to feel like fell on your shoulders at my fault. So sorry for you. So sorry for all of those who died. I had taken them suggestions, but they just turned their nose up at them. I guess I should have tried to separate the ones who wanted to be nonviolent from those who couldn't resist but being violent. Never been much of a leader in that way, and sorry that all those people had to die because of me. But on a lighter note, Merrick here is going to jump into a worm's mouth. Just
Too
kidding. I didn't say
soon,
that.
Vic.
He didn't. He's not going to say that.
yeah, there's just silence.
Mhm.
And then he says, "You know, Vic, I should hate you. I feel like I really should. But I don't. Because it was never about you. It was about them.
You're going to be a great leader one day, Leopa. Here, let us get you some food and water. You look like you're... Who is this with you?
As you say that, you've gotten... Give me a perception, actually, as you have this conversation.
It's got to be the old woman.
$28. You are able to catch the man who is on the ground as he stands up and tries to position his way behind you to headbutt you.
Can I just help him back down to the ground and offer him water?
As you look at him, you see a face of a dwarf, about the same height as you and the same weight. And you know what? He's even missing the same eye. And as he goes for the headbutt and misses, falling onto the ground in exhaustion. He goes, "Imposter!" Falls into the dust as it flings up into the air.
Spellcraft to know what this thing is? Doppelganger?
Now you can give me a spellcraft. Appears
Oh,
to be a
that's-
dwarf.
Yep.
I forgot. I'm really good at the spellcraft.
He goes up to you and he's sitting on the ground there and he shuffles into his pack and he shows what he has to Leopo and he says, "It's him! The very same one we were looking for, the traitor, the imposter." And Leopo kind of rolls his eyes before slumping down into the dirt too.
I don't understand. Were they going to try and kill me and replace me with this guy? Does it look like 100% carbon copy of me?
No,
Oh, okay. Okay. He's just.
it's just another
Yeah,
dwarf.
yeah. Yeah, I get it.
And now that you look at him for a little bit, you can see something's crawling around in his beard.
I'll go try and help him pull it out.
Okay. That's his attack against you.
I'm going to say it hit because I'm flat-footed,
Yeah, flat-footed
all
is
that
what it would
stuff.
be.
surprised.
8 damage as he headbutts you, and you notice he's wearing an ornate dwarven helmet with a fist emblazoned on the front.
Oh, older helmet?
Yeah.
Nice. We were talking the other day about wanting to have a character with that.
And then as he headbutts you, he grabs you by the collar and he says, "So what'd you do with him?"
What'd I do with who?
"The man you're taking the life of." And he goes for another hit on you. But misses.
That'll miss.
Do any
yeah.
of us recognize this guy? Because
You got no clue who this motherfucker is other than he looks a little bit like Vic.
I will say after the second headbutt misses, I'll say, all right. As much as I enjoy seeing Vic get hit repeatedly in the face, break it up or I'll use my magic to rearrange everyone's holes.
Oh no.
Yeah,
gonna cast mend butt crack.
Vic will throw him back down at that point and take a step back, and then he wants to study this guy and see if he remembers him from something from the past.
So, as the person who is the latest coming to our little merry band of idiots here, let me make sure I understand the situation. Vic, you're where at? New Dwarf, you're saying you're Vic and this isn't Vic. I don't know you, but you apparently know rats, pointing to Leopo. And Vic ditched 2 jobs. A follower of Abadar who welches on deals. Something new every day.
He might just be getting fired a lot. We could give him the benefit of the doubt. He might just be bad at all his jobs.
Impersonating me? No, obviously not. He's impersonating the greatest man I've ever known, Vic Hammerhand.
That is who I am.
I just pull out my spoon of sustenance and produce the spicy gruel as I eat it like popcorn while I'm watching the drama.
As you say that's who you are, he's going to... Oh. See. He's going to attack you again.
I'm gonna have to knock this guy out with my sap.
Nope. I warned him, so I'm gonna magic him.
All right.
1 second.
Does a knowledge local? Do I remember him off of that?
No.
Here we go. So I am going to cast Phantasmal Affliction on him, making believing that he's cursed. So he will give a will save at DC 30.
Yeah, that doesn't look good for him.
Yeah. And this will just, yeah. So he'll just take a -4 penalty on everything as he fully, genuinely believes.
The real
Then I
Vic
guess-
Hammerhand isn't a
guess
criminal or consorts with witches and witchcraft. He was an honorable man.
How
Okay, he's
did you
clearly
know
talking
Vic
about
Ham-
somebody else, right?
How did you know Vic Hammerhand? I'm going to use detect lies to make sure he's telling the truth.
I
Mhm.
did curse him so he thinks I rearranged his holes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use intimidate to try and make him answer us.
It is worth pointing out that the curse effect is entirely harmless. Like, I'm not actually killing them. It's just hard penalties.
He goes, Vic Hammerhand is my father.
Record scratch.
Bum, bum, bum.
And for the first time, as he holds the wanted poster, you notice, Vic, that it doesn't say your true name, Vixen Hammerhand, but the name everyone at the bank called you, Vic, the name of your father.
Hold on. The wanted poster says Vic Hammerhand.
Mhm.
This guy is saying that Vic Hammerhand is his father, and my father is also
Vic Hammerhand.
Hammerhand.
Mhm.
Got it. So this is my long lost brother that I didn't know about.
It would appear that
Okay.
way.
So you're saying your father was Vic Hammerhand? I'm Vic Hammerhand's son, Vixen, but everybody always called me Vic.
That's impossible. He'd have never left his family.
What's your name?
My name is O. Vic Hammerhand.
How old are you?
I'll just...
Meanwhile, Sophia's over by Merrick, like, I think their dad was bad at naming.
He just has a common theme and obviously really likes himself, or at least his name.
Yeah. After cursing them, I walk back to the other group, and in like a low voice, as the wand posters come out, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start taking a poll now. Are we thinking poultry or mammalian, what I turn him into?
I mean, I was just gonna summon a giant octopus to bound him if he keeps acting up. So you beat me to it.
I already cursed him. He thinks his ass is his ears now. That's why he's sticking his butt out like that.
Who was your mother?
He would give you the name of a dwarf you don't recognize.
How long ago were you born? For reference, Vic is 72.
Yeah, he would probably be like 84.
So dad had a wife before mom?
I already told you, he's not your dad. He never would have left me and my 12 siblings to fend for ourselves.
Sweet summer.
Sophia just shouts from the back, 12! Are they all named Vic?
Somebody hit pause. I want to go get some popcorn.
There's got to be at least one Vicky, right?
I mean, there has to be.
Merrick is definitely there
Victoria,
alongside her,
maybe.
just like, this is the new like soap opera drama.
Mhm.
Like,
What town did your family live in? What town did your family live in? Oh, Vic. Or wait, are you Zero Vic?
Zero Vic.
Take a
Yeah,
Vic.
just one calorie, not quite Vic enough.
No, it is Ovic. That was a joke because you made your Vixen, and Ovic is basically just the Scottish equivalent of doing that.
Yeah,
Nice.
one might say his family is too Vic to fail.
6 out of 10.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is just as funny as I thought it'd be. Anyways, as you ask him what town he's from. You see whatever was crawling in his beard crawl out and up onto his shoulder, holding onto his large ears. And you see it is a dwarf that's about 2 years old.
Is that
Is
one
this
of
like
my
possum
father's
style
children
clingy?
too?
Okay, that seems unsafe.
No,
Anyone
boy,
else
don't
think-
be a fool. This is my child, Vic Jr.
Well, wouldn't he be Vic the Third? I mean, technically, unless you named him after Dad.
I told you my name is Ovic.
Yes. Okay. Ah,
And I'll show you the token for this guy because I think it's a little funny.
Yep.
Did you share it?
How'd you lose your eye?
It's on the map.
Oh,
You-
okay.
Yep, I see it.
Or she was in the way.
Monster hunting. It's the family trade. Like, wait. You go, let me look at your hands.
He'd hold them up and like he's going to push him away instead of holding them down. Hold
And
them
then he
up
would
like-
grab your hand for a handshake. And you give me a strength check.
All right.
Remember, if this is opposed, Ovic's got a -4.
Yep.
'Cause he thinks his penis holds his ears. Nope,
Vic's
that
got
may
city-
be not gonna help.
Yeah, Vic's got city hands. He's been counting money all his life.
Yep. He crushes your hand in his and he says, "You can't be his son. It's the hammer hand tradition to strengthen the hands in their youth by clinging to the beards of their fathers during their grand adventures across this world."
He told me that strengthening my hands would cause hair to grow on the backs of my palms. I never did any of that. I joined the church at a very young age.
All right. Give a diplomacy as you explain yourself.
He'd go on to talk about the bar and where Vic used to work in the late nights and helping clean up. But never any outdoor monster hunting.
And he would say,
What-
"Tell me something only my father would know."
But they're not the same person.
He would know the names of all 12 of his children in your family.
He doesn't sound like a dad that would know all the kids' names. That's why he named them all Vic.
I
Come
do
on,
have
you can
this.
think of something if your story's true.
Well, I do have this, and he would pull out the family heirloom weapon, the flail that he wears around his waist like a belt.
Mm-hmm. And you
Show
see
it to him.
the shape of the fist on your flail and the shape of the fist on the insignia of his helmet are nearly identical. Goes, "All this proves is you stole my father's weapon after you killed him."
Hold on. I'm looking through my bio to see what you pulled out of here that I don't remember writing so long
I
ago.
didn't pull this out of your bio.
I
This
was
is
just seeing
something-
if there was anything that I
Oh,
said
anything
about
you
the
could tell
dad.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I noticed when I read your story that made me do this, Cope, from the very beginning was the fact that the only family member you ever mentioned was your dad.
Mhm.
Yep. I
All
mean,
right.
he's a D&D character.
All right. So I'm thinking for the next phantasmal curse I place on him, I make his bones hot.
Bones hot.
Bones hot.
Look, we're having a family discussion here. This is reuniting of dwarf clans. He would begin to tell him everything he remembers from the very beginning. His mother died before he really remembered her, so just tell him all about Dad, the way he acted, some of the things he said. catchphrases, stuff like that.
Yeah, and eventually you would tell him enough that he begins to entertain the idea that maybe the story you said is true.
But here's the worst part, Vic. Vic Hammerhand is dead.
And he goes, well, I knew that. Just not how he died, really.
He told them the story of the Shiv dealers and his dad kicking him out, and then them poisoning, basically ODing him with a drink that he didn't realize was tainted with Shiv. And then he would go on to say that we figured out who the mastermind over all of the Shiv distribution was, and that we killed him in vengeance.
So tell me then, Vic's son, what was so great about your city that made an honorable man leave his wife and children?
That I can't tell you. This has all come as a surprise to me. This is a man that I thought had hung the moon, and had never dreamed of him having a second life like this. Perhaps you know why he would have left y'all's situation. Where did you live?
He would say, well, the family hails from an island off the coast, but we made our living in Varesia, hunting monsters from all sides of the globe. But occasionally, we'd meet up and have the occasional family reunion, and for that, we'd meet in the port of, what's it called? The one that's near Corvosa.
Angermont? The other big city, other than Riddleport.
Is it the
No.
Dwarven city?
Riddleport was what I was going to say. They were going to meet in
Ah,
Riddleport, because that's by ship.
Well, does your mother ever tell of the day that Vic disappeared?
As far as we knew, he had gone down with a shipping vessel years ago. But it appears he might have just used that to cut ties.
Maybe he did go down and then get shipwrecked in a land where he had no money. And
Shipwrecked in one of the largest port towns in the world. You're going to make me laugh.
well, stuck with no money and no way to return. Maybe he had to take those first jobs at a bar in order to feed himself, and then try and gather enough money to get back to you all.
I'm going to guess by the fact that we're sitting in the middle of a goddamn desert right now that you know a hammerhand will always find a way.
You see Sophia in the background just kind of raising her hand, wanting to ask a question to this weird family reunion. Like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yes, Sophia.
So, you're not that different in age, so there's a good chance that he just had a secret family.
Were you the last child born in your family?
Yeah, he would say that he's the youngest of the 12.
And so about 12 years after you, Big Father.
The rest, they're only concerned with the money to be made in the job. They don't see the honor like our father did. Or at least how I thought he did.
Hey, sorry, my headphones died when you were saying the rest. They were only concerned.
The rest
That's all.
didn't go looking when he brought up your name because they're only concerned with making as much money as possible. But he said he went on a quest to find you out of honor and what he believes his father would have done. But then kind of said, well, what I thought my father would have done, because apparently he's much less honorable than he had originally thought.
So you thought you were coming here to find me, and me was your father, Vic.
I had assumed he had died. But somehow you'd got word of him and assumed his identity. I don't know what I thought.
Well, no, I'm on a long, strange quest that began with seeking vengeance upon his murderers. Now that has led to us continuing to help people in the city.
Well, even if I didn't believe you, there's not much I could do to stop you at this stage. But what does the city have to do with the blasted Cinderlands? I'd assumed, being a criminal, you'd finally tried to make your escape.
It's a long story, but as you're talking, I'm wondering about this family of my father's before. Can you tell me about them? And also, it just dawned on me, I may have been a complete mistake. 12 years away from his home. Of course, he's going to seek companionship. He may have never intended to have me or a second family. It may have all been a mistake, but being the honorable man he is or was, he decided to do right by my mother and then looked after me. I'm gonna believe that story.
Sophie whispers to Merrick, I think their dad was a hoe. I read about those kind of men in this book I'm reading. And she just holds up the romance novel that she's been carrying around.
It's called Don't Trust a Hoe.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
I'm standing next to him and I say, you see, this is the exact reason why my wife and I have a yearly infidelity allotment in our marital contract.
Wow. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, you should have a wife.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
called
like-
cheating if it's contractually agreed upon.
There's
Honestly, she's probably boinking the gardener right now, and if anything, I feel bad for him because once she gets bored, the guards are going to come to his house, and his bag is just going to be full of silverware that he doesn't remember stealing, and then whoop to the gallows.
Unless he's a really good gardener and she doesn't want to have to hire a subpar gardener.
No, trust me, she's done this a lot.
So as they go off on their tangent, I'm going to go with my half brother over here and try diplomacy to get him to start talking about anything I want him to talk about. With that 49, get him to start talking about his family and get him telling stories so that he stops being so mad at me and starts remembering the good times. And I can learn some things about my dad.
Speak up, Fake Vic. Say it into my ear. He says, pulling up his ass.
They are not all named Vic, but they are all named Lord of the Rings style in 2s and 3s. And he would tell you.
Vicky.
Well, no, there was only an Ovic, but it appears now that they are in a 2s group.
Nice.
But yeah, he would talk to you about their exploits, hunting down all sorts of beasties, and how in his travels few places have been as inhospitable as the Cinderlands, and is rife with creatures of a monstrous nature.
Well, you might be useful. It might have been fated that we met at this time, at this place, both on very different journeys, because tomorrow we are going to be confronting the most dangerous beast in this land. And
A
our
giant
friend-
worm. You're
Yes.
suicidal if you're gonna fight that thing.
Nope, I'm gonna be eaten by it.
Yeah, he's volunteered to let it eat him. And then he's going to rip his way out.
You look a little young to be on a suicide quest, boy. Most warriors wait until at least their 60s.
If you have any suggestions to make him more appetizing looking for the worm, we're open to it.
In fact, does somebody need to do it? And I've
Well, I always prefer to flame broil, but the Cinder Maw will take care of that itself.
Wait,
Do you know anything about how it attacks or what kind of damage it can do?
Attacks from below, swallows you whole. Wouldn't recommend going through with the whole thing. But hey, you can say hi to the. You can say hi to all the rat folk in his belly if you want to. Or were rats, I mean.
Hmm.
You'll
Oh,
be
is that what happened
com-
here?
Very two distinctly different races there. Rat folk and were rat. But
well, I wouldn't say distinctly. They looked exactly the same. Ooh, he just
Woo!
went there.
Right.
All right, going to some Yoskai bars sometime. Is that the other name for Rasko, the Yoski?
Yeah.
I do love a story from one of the advanced player guides where they have like the flavor text of a guy saying that he tried to rob a rat folk merchant, so he followed him back to his home, only to find that it was a warren filled with about 100 rats, and then they all threw bags of holding, hauled them back to market, and haggled the price with his family for them to buy him back.
nice.
So
Well,
Love
our-
more importantly than how does it attack, how would the rest of us make sure, or how best would the rest of us make sure not to get attacked while Merrick's trying to get attacked?
I'd try standing on the rocky cliff faces. It's unlikely to get you there, as long as you stay off of the loose dirt and sand.
All right, guys, tomorrow we should head directly south. Get to where we're all on rock ledges while Merrick can walk on the sand as we head northwest.
They're all just choosing to gloss over the were rat thing, right?
I mean, we all
I've-
knew he liked cheese. This is just comes with the territory, I suppose.
I've been living with it for ages. It's hard to glass over. You wouldn't believe the amount of filing I have to do on my teeth when I'm pretending like I'm brushing them.
Because we are coming up on another full moon.
Far away are we from a full moon? We got a while. I just passed it. I feel like.
I was gonna add up all the days afterwards, but I'm not quite sure how long you guys have been in the Cinderlands, but
Yeah, I feel like anything a number greater than infinity is too high for Theobar.
yeah, that's granted,
Yeah.
the highest number is 30 days that it could be,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
definitely less than 30 days at this point.
yeah.
so-
And at some point in the desert, I used that spell to get through it one night.
yeah. So you're out of get out of jail free cards.
Yep.
Looks like Loki's having computer issues, so I actually was gonna take a bio as well.
Yeah,
So
we can take a break. It's about 8:30. It's a good time.
yep, be right back.
I'm back.
I think they're all taking a bio break still.
I'm back.
Same here.
So when it comes to you getting swallowed, Loki, if you're
Mhm.
still there.
Come here.
I have a summon I can summon out that is invisible, or it can go invisible at will, and it summons with an adamantine scythe, which might help you getting out. So if we know it's going to try to eat you, I can summon it quickly and hopefully get it swallowed with you.
Worth giving it a shot.
Yeah.
I am back.
Howdy. With how much we talk about the evils and excesses of capitalism, we need to run a Cyberpunk or Shadowrun game at some point.
Oh, definitely. I actually really like the system of Cyberpunk/Cyberpunk Red. I think it's really well put together. I was actually researching. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Catherine and I were just talking about that on Sunday, actually. You were talking about Mechton, and you said that it was compatible with Cyberpunk.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm sure we will do something like that eventually.
I thought it was cool how in the video game they used that character Johnny Silverhand to bridge the gap between Cyberpunk 2020
Mhm.
and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, that was a really clever idea.
That was cool. I really liked that idea of having a character who's from the 2020s because that's such a big part of the
Mhm.
franchise.
Oh yeah, and Johnny Silverhand was in the original core rulebook because it included a pre-made adventure.
Huh.
And there's a part in that one of the main characters in NPCs to interact with was Johnny Silverhand, to rescue his girlfriend Alt from Arasaka. Which, if you play the actual Cyberpunk game, there's a flashback where you play as Johnny. That's just the plot of that adventure from the core rulebook. Whereas
That's fucking awesome.
there's extra characters like a hired mercenary and like a newscaster dude who's never elaborated on, and it has the inherent implication that that is someone's tabletop player characters.
Nice.
They did their homework at CD Projekt Red, is all I'm saying. Like they dug
Yeah.
into it.
I play that game and there's just so many quality of life and like little things in that game. They're like, they miss me a little bit.
Mhm.
Or like the fact that it's cyberpunk, the whole thing about the game is being a punk and being cyber, but like 2 or 3, I think it's actually 4 cosmetics or 4 cybernetic implants are non-cosmetic. They don't change your character at all.
Mhm.
Like, well, I kind of would have liked looking more cybernetic as I got more cybernetic.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can't
Are
do
y'all
that.
talking about the game?
That's fine. We're not gonna have any
Yeah.
metal bits. Yeah.
Did y'all like
You're
it?
gonna have any metal bits on your. It's okay. It's like I would liken it to something like Saints Row.
Can you guys still
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Not
My
in that
computer
it's
is
funny,
completely
but
frozen solid, so I'm gonna force shut down and restart it. So I'll be right back.
Oh God, it's contagious.
actually,
Uh-huh.
actually a very serious plot. But I appreciate it for being a single player game coming out in 2020.
Yeah.
But if you've ever played
Hello?
Tier 4, they kind of have those game mechanics where you're doing jobs for criminals.
Yeah.
I'd go cyber mode.
Got it. Did it have a lot of bugs?
At the beginning it did, now not so much. There are still a couple of bugs in the game, which are a
Mhm.
little annoying. Like there's one where there's a button because the whole game has self-driving cars, except none of the
Mhm.
cars have autopilot. Another quality of life thing that not even Delamain, who's like the self-driving car, when you unlock them, there's no autopilot mode or in-car guns. Even and they tell you that the Delamains have guns inside of them.
Mhm.
But no, there are weaponized vehicles in the game. Delamain's just not one of them. But yeah, the cars can't drive themselves, but there's a button that you click to make them drive to you, to like show up at your location, and sometimes that just stops working. And you have to like save and reload, and then it works again.
Yeah.
And
Also,
then there were oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say also, unless you have a console that plays it, make sure your PC is absolutely stacked because it is one of the most hardware intensive computer games on the market right now.
In that long cycle of computers and holding them until the very end of their useful life, and then getting a new one, I'm at the new stage, so I could.
Okay, then
I
you
could
might
do
be
it
fine.
now.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you might be fine then.
He'll be
My
good
last
until
computer could-
2077.
Yeah, my last computer could barely run Risk at the end of its life.
Risk.
So, like right now, I'm going back through all these games that I couldn't play over the last 6 years.
Mm.
And whenever they're on sale, I buy them. But then it's just a question of when do I get to them. Like, and that's why I came up with Ark the other day. I couldn't play it. I never would have been able to load it. But it's been sitting in my library for ages, which is why I've been able to play Baldur's Gate and
Mm.
Rogue Trader and all that stuff
And that-
lately.
In that same vein, Gumbo, have you tried Sea of Thieves again lately?
Oh no, yeah, that's right. I need to take the time to do the install. I forget stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. I'd love to get back in that with you guys because that
Yeah,
that
was
was
a
some
good
fun
time.
antics we got there.
One more thing on Cyberpunk, just because I thought about this, and this was like a game design thing. I'm sure Gombo will understand what I mean when I say this. So they did something by mistake. There was a glitch in the game where there's a part where you basically let Johnny Silverhand take control of your body.
Mhm.
And they put this holographic overlay of the Silverhand arm over your arm, right? To kind of signify he's taken over. There was a glitch that used to exist in the game where after that arm would be in your inventory in miscellaneous as a common item that you could equip. And it was fucking cool. And everybody liked it. And then they took it out when they fixed all the glitches.
Yeah.
It's like, nobody was asking for this to be taken out. It was on accident, but it was cool that you could do it.
Yeah, it's probably because the cosmetic in how they filed it was just probably as an item because it's easier than writing a whole new code for apply effect over top of model. You just make it registered as an equipment piece instead.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see exactly how it happened. It
Mhm.
was the cutscene happens. It's set to turn on. It goes into your inventory and gets equipped. Then when the cutscene ends, it's supposed to unequip and leave your inventory, but it didn't do that.
My big thing for the Cyberpunk video game is I watched gameplay of it, and all the glitches aside, which I was able to discount early video stuff because I knew they would fix it. I think the story looks really cool. The world looks really cool. For some reason, I just find like the gunplay and actual fight parts of it that are like the gameplay kind of not super interesting looking. It doesn't look bad. It just looks like, yeah, I'm I'm shooting things now. I don't know. It just doesn't enthrall me.
Hello?
It could definitely use
I'm back.
more enemy types. Because there's
Yeah.
just kind of the guys with guns and the guys with guns who get stronger. Occasionally, some people have swords for arms, and
Mhm.
they'll charge you with their Sandevistan implants that make them slow down time or whatever.
Oh, I love
But-
that they added that in after the anime because there's a lot of stuff that people thought was cool in the anime that they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna put that in the game now because that's way better.
But I mean, I would say overall it's a good game. It's
Oh, yeah.
at this point, it's good. It's not like gonna blow your socks off. It's good that like there's for a role playing game. It's good that there's multiple decisions that matter and like you get to change things up and now you go about these missions. The
Mhm.
combat
Yeah.
is they could use. It's basically I don't know. When I played it, I used you can tell what I was in it for because when I played,
Auto aim.
so I had 3 smart machine guns
Mhm.
auto aim for me the whole game,
Yeah.
and I
So it's
just
kind of
ran
like
through the
Grand
levels.
Theft Auto. It's like
Yeah.
GTA, but with more script.
Yeah, I would say it's like Grand Theft Auto in that
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Which I need to go back and play that back through. And I need to finish Saints Row.
It is.
I
It's
love Saints Row. I'm a big Saints.
extremely philosophically interesting to me that the world of cyberpunk, despite being objectively less dystopian than Warhammer 40k, somehow feels more bleak. Maybe it's just because there's more I relate to, and like 40k
It's
is taking
closer to
everything.
our real life.
Yeah, 40k takes everything to an extreme. You kind of just check out. Like,
Yeah, it's like in
God, I
Cyberpunk.
shoved a war orphan into an air locker because he said mean things to me, and everyone thanked me for it.
In Cyberpunk, you get denied going into visitation because you don't have an insurance policy, and in
Mhm.
Warhammer 40k, there's no insurance policy.
Yeah,
It's just a level of disconnection in the fantasy, I think, because like no one can relate
Yeah,
to the 40k
Warhammer
people's
40K.
problem. But
You don't need the insurance policy. You're just at the back of a line of 40,000 people. So you never get served.
mhm.
As in the Cyberpunk, you don't have the insurance, or your insurance is denied.
I hate to quote Joseph Stalin here, but it is unfortunately true, which is that 5 deaths are a tragedy, 5,000 deaths are a statistic.
Ouch.
Mhm.
Hmm.
There is a unfortunate reality that when the numbers of suffering gets big enough, you start mentally checking out because you just can't picture it.
Mhm.
It's a reason why someone getting tortured in a warehouse feels more grisly than the Galactic Empire blowing up an entire planet of people in a PG-13 Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like a million voices that were all shut off at once.
Yeah, that's objectively, like, numbers-wise, horrific. But we just go, yeah, Empire back. And then we leave it at that.
Oh, we'll get them back for this one.
Mm-hmm. Shucks, they win this round.
Sorry,
Everyone
Alderaan.
is dead.
I want to see the Star Wars. Oh, I guess they kind of did do Alderaan, didn't they? Isn't that
Oh, yeah,
where
that was-
Rogue Trader or whatever, Rogue One?
Yeah,
They
Rogue
were on
One.
Alderaan when it got
No,
blown up.
they weren't on Alderaan. They were on a different planet. But we should get back to D&D. But it's one of my favorite throwaway jokes from Star Wars Skeleton Crew because that's aimed at like a kid audience.
Uh-huh.
And these kids come from a planet that's been like sheltered and cut off from the rest of the galaxy forever. They're talking with some adults. They're trying to figure out where their planet is. And he's like, I think my dad mentioned that our planet is somewhere close to Alderaan. And now one goes, ooh, the Galactic Civil War really passed you guys by, huh?
Yeah.
It's just funny how everyone in the room went, ooh.
That's
I wanna-
almost like in Star Wars.
I
That
wanna
doesn't
watch
even
that.
make sense. How does anybody not know about the first time an entire planet was destroyed?
Oh no,
by the only civilization
it was one of the great mysteries of the show of why these kids
that
didn't know
exists.
anything off their planet, and then it was revealed why their entire planet was basically in like an isolation type thing where it was intentionally kept news of outside out of their feeds. It was an intentional thing. It was building plot, is what it was.
Okay.
But it was still a funny joke. How everyone was like, "Ooh, Alderaan, right?" Yeah. How do I explain genocide to 12-year-olds?
I'll take that one. You explain sex. All right, so I'm gonna
Special
keep
hugging,
talking
then
to
a
this.
baby comes out.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna keep talking to this guy and using my diplomacy to try and make him more friendly towards me and us to become buddies, and as we share stories. Can I diplomancy that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Diplo.
Oh, it
Why?
appears you already tried before with the 49, right? I think I got a little sidetracked.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't know if I needed to keep trying.
Yeah, well, he definitely is at least going along with your story for now when you guys exchange anecdotes about your father.
And my
Seem-
goal is to get him to agree to stay with us. Let's share camp tonight. I'll catch up with Leopo as well. Since he seems to know Leopo, bring him into the conversation, kind of use my magic diplomacy powers to lighten the situation, get him talking about other things, news from the realm, and get him to agree to camp with us for the night, and then potentially tomorrow join us for tomorrow's walk.
Yeah, it's easy enough. They're not. I don't have a good campsite really to begin with here, so.
So I
And
think
also, as the guy continues to like try and wipe his eye that is his shoulder, and then continues to try and clean out his ear, which is his nose. And it's kind of nasty that he keeps wiping his butt with his hand because he thinks he's drooling. I would ask Theobard if he could make the curse go away.
Yes, one moment. Leopo, that was your name, correct?
I'm not sure I like that you remember that, but yeah.
You said you tracked us out here. How?
Gearix had said that Vic had gone to Cinderlands to find us the promised land. He promised the were-rats. I was with them at the time, and, well, it didn't seem right to let them go without an expert in the Cinderlands topography and the beasts of the land. So I went with them. At the same time, Vic here was searching the city for Vic and followed the same leads eventually into the sewer den, and he wanted to come Vic as well. That's how we both ended up out here.
Remarkable skill to be able to find us so closely in such a wide and expansive area.
You
His
found
lead-
us. We have been camping out here. The Cinder Maw had attacked the last remaining were-rats, and, well, we were just trying to find our way out when a little pulls out the tiny rat.
Mhm.
Send him to do a perimeter around the camp, and he finds you.
Very well.
Discerning lies while he's talking. Was that truth?
Yeah, it seems to be the truth.
I'll with a gesture, I'll remove the illusory curse upon Ovik.
Yeah, Sophia would also ask, like, so are you a were-rat too? Like to not to Ovik,
Not a
but the other
were-rat.
one, Leopo.
Mm.
Well, I'm just
Do I look
saying.
like I got hair in my ears?
Well, I mean, you have a pet rat. I assumed it maybe it was your son. I mean, that one has his son carrying around in his beard. So, is that not what were-rats do? Vic, help me out here.
I know nothing.
Of course I'm not a were-rat. I'm a druid.
I mean, is that different? Don't druids turn into rats all the time?
He
You
turns
see,
into a rat.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is why you need to pay attention to my lessons, Sophia.
You say that, she's already started reading her book again.
I think that's like the 5th time she read that in this week.
I
Oh no,
swear,
she has a handy haversack. She has multiple books.
Oh, gotcha.
I swear
And
the
she
easy
learns all these
access.
creatures.
I swear the easier access becomes to this smutty genre, the worse our society is going to become.
You know what? Shut the fuck up, Vic. You're a rat, and you didn't tell us.
I'm not a rat. I'm cursed with lycanthropy that I wished to willingly accept.
How'd you get it?
I'm going to tell you, since you're now so interested, even though I've been amongst you for months with it. No one's cared to ask about me. Anyway, I volunteered to accept it in order to. I volunteered to. That's true. I volunteered to accept it in order to placate the were-rats who wanted to rise up within the city, create turmoil, cause multiple deaths, destroy parts of our civilization, and definitely wipe out theirs. All with the hope that I could get them to become pilgrims of Abadar and create a new civilization in a hospitable place that I could find. I researched it for them. We did a bargaining. I said, I'll find you a new homeland. They said, you have to become a were-rat. I don't really understand that bargaining chip, but I accepted it because it costs nothing. And I researched the new locations, gave them a few good locations, and that's when I realized they were just going to be assholes about it and not going to accept anywhere. So I admit I probably should have taken that more seriously and gone back to the old lady. I can't remember her name. Out of character. Gone
Erie's
back to
yellow eyes.
Erie's yellow eyes and talked to her about it to make a new plan as far as getting her and the non-violent ones out of there, because the violent ones just had it in their mind that they were going to attack the city, is my belief at this point. Unfortunately, it sounds like my failure to act drove them all to come out here looking for me, and they all died to the Cinder Maw. So yeah, when we get back and things calm down, I am going to seek a cleric to cure my lycanthropy.
I mean, you're a cleric, can't you do it?
I don't know how to. There's a spell called Cure Disease, and that's just something I don't know how to say the prayers correctly for. Maybe as I
Lycanthropy is not a disease.
curse. Is it curse?
curse.
Cure curse? Remove
a curse.
curse?
I'm a
Okay.
wizard. It's a curse.
Got it. I can remove paralysis, delay disease, do multiple things, but maybe Abadar in the future will help me learn the prayers for remove
Break your
curse.
Falls on the ground as you walk, apparently.
Oh, sorry. He picks up his flail and wraps it back around his belt.
All right. That's another thing we're going to have to think about.
What's the next?
Take it. And Akram would speak up from behind everyone as everything has happened here around him. He would talk to Vic and he would go, I would take it as a lesson. Even an action itself is an action.
I hate you so much.
Basically, making no decision is a decision.
The barn owl sees much, but the field mouse is very fast.
I like the reverent silent and then the interjection.
I fucking hate you.
Sophia charges like, oh, I got one of those. When is a door not a door? When it's ajar. Nobody? Okay.
I'm going
She
to
goes back to
sleep.
her book.
Okay, so just to make sure everyone's clear, you all know I could leave you at any time and you'd have to walk back, right?
At least I could fly.
But
Yeah,
it
that's-
seems even the cynic has his reasons for remaining.
He secretly likes us.
Okay, I'm
He
starting
wants
to
to
He has
see
see
how
he has
it
a he has a friendly name for Merrick. He calls him Orphan all the time. He doesn't want to admit it, but he acts way too fatherly around me. So he's just he's very shy in a
Yes, let me
weird,
introduce you to
angry,
my-
aggressive way.
Let me reintroduce you to my companions. This is Orphan, Rat, Child, Gnome.
See, names for all of us.
Just Kier in the background. I think I got out the lightest.
All right. Well, we all should get a good night's rest because tomorrow may prove very eventful.
This is my child track marks. I had to think of a meaner one for Kier. Anyways, yeah, at least for right now, he seems okay with camping with you guys, and you guys will sleep the night as you prepare for the to
Yep.
come.
So it sounds like
2
we'll need
hours
both
thanks to my ring
protection
assist.
from acid and protection of fire. Cinder moth. So, was that fire? Bite it?
That is what it sounded like.
I can do that. If we can time it well enough, I can keep you protected from both for 6 hours
Okay.
or one
Wait.
for 12 hours.
Do we still have the extend rod?
I want you to have it.
I assume we do.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten rid of it.
So yeah, that could double it.
Okay. So I can keep you protected for 12 and 12. I mean, I'm rounding 10 minutes, but come on. I mean, it's not full protection. It's resist energy, so it's
Yeah.
it just reduces the damage each time. But at level 11, it reduces it 30 points each time,
Ooh, that will be
and
grateful.
protects your equipment as well, which is a big thing.
Ooh, even better.
All right.
And probably the night before, Merrick would probably choose to hang out with Kier for a bit. Would you mind keeping an eye on Nimbus for me? I imagine
No sense dragging him in there with you either, I suppose.
exactly. And I imagine if anything happens to me, the magic that keeps him in eagle form will dissipate, so you'll know if the worst happens. Don't let him rest on your shoulder.
Probably a good call, yes.
Oh God, no! I want that to happen.
Well, this horribly bad call that we're doing.
And you'll let out of character. What was this Senestral's name?
Dave.
Dave?
Neo or
Neolandius?
Neolandis is his name.
Neolandius Copopopoulos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll let Neolandis know what happened for me?
Of course.
It's been a wild ride, right? You know, just think a year ago, we were just roomies in a barn, effectively. And here I am about to dive headlong into a giant worm's mouth with only you that remains from that life.
Indeed. You have one more thing that might help, given all the other stuff that's been proposed to be cast on you. It will be a last line of defense for any sort of rough and tumble squishing it might try to do to you as you cut your way out.
I'll take every help I can get. This is like there are no words, right?
Yes, it's quite mad. That's probably why they respect it.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
It's been done before.
At least once.
And not gonna lie, the whole fresh start thing does seem pretty cathartic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At that point, Merrick will probably just kind of clap on him on the shoulder and just kind of hang out like, longtime buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So are we starting to the next day then?
Unless anything else happens.
All right. The next day, I imagine you guys hunting grounds.
Yep. I'm there.
All right. You guys will arrive there. I'll move you to the map, and you can position yourselves. You'll have a while before the Cindermon actually shows up. Detects that someone has entered its hunting grounds.
I'll probably go there.
Gonna slap him with resist energy, acid and fire, and freedom of movement.
Luca's not going to be here currently, so I'm just going to put him up over here.
See here. A good spell to help us out against something that can sense vibrations.
I will say, like, this entire time while we're waiting for Merrick to get munched on, I'm basically getting ready to cast a summoning spell as soon as he's about to get swallowed whole. Because I plan to summon a creature like right when he's getting eaten to get swallowed with him.
Well, let's make sure through Akbar
Go, and he's going to.
that wouldn't ruin the ritual.
It comes out invisible. Who cares?
Okay. Because we messed this up one time. There's might not be another worm that qualifies.
So at this point, once everybody looks like they're in position, Merrick would just proceed to
Stomp around.
dance. Yeah.
Dance.
Jump
Dance,
around.
jump.
Jump around.
Yeah.
Jump up, get it down.
You'll see him out there making sand angels.
Do a flip.
I'll just hit mage armor myself just to be safe.
Is 17 enough to do a flip?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be.
Give me just a second, guys.
It's going to swallow the rest of us instead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm creating a gigantic worm.
In that fake campaign I ran, one of the players was on a stage and someone shouted, "Do a flip!" And he goes, "Okay, I guess I'll do a flip," and he gets a natural one. So it's just someone jumped backwards and landed just flat on their back.
That'd be me trying to do a flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop, pow. But that'd injure my neck trying to.
Yeah. It turned into a whole joke where
Okay.
then that character actually never managed to
Slowly,
fix any acrobatics. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
slowly, as you guys wait, it takes maybe an hour and a half. You start to feel the sand and the dirt move from underneath your feet, Merrick.
Okay, the
And you
potion Kira gave me.
Yep, you can feel something's rumbling closer and closer underneath you.
Spells I could cast.
Yeah,
Start
look real
throwing
quick.
rocks over there towards that area so the vibrations continue.
Toss an iron skin on. Sorry, what'd you say, Cope?
Vic was going to be throwing rocks down around you so that
Okay.
as you freeze up in fear, vibrations keep happening.
And then, as it gets more and louder, and you feel the rumbling underneath your feet, a chasm starts to open up, and you start to slip down the sand, and you have your last chance, your last hope of escaping, if that's before being swallowed into the maw of some creature you can't even see yet.
There would be that instant, that animalistic, run, what the fuck, we gotta get out of here. And then he just looks up and gives a thumbs up before going.
Kier, you see him give a thumbs up for maybe half a second before the ground explodes underneath him,
Mm-hmm.
and a giant worm crests out of the ground, Merrick disappearing, and back down. Whale, as you see the Cinder Maw for the very first time.
Tremors!
Would I have been able to get off that prepared summoning or no?
Yeah, you'd have time to summon whatever you need.
Okay. A chaos beast goes in with him.
Are you gonna pay? Let me ask you this: are you sure? You ever heard of that old execution method where they throw you in a sack with a snake and a chicken and a dog, and then
Listen,
throw you in the
this thing
river? You're
obeys my
basically
mental commands.
doing that to
Okay?
Merrick right now.
This thing obeys my mental commands. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Can't possibly turn against us.
So a chaos beast dives into it, I guess.
Yep. It's just a horrible mass of barbed tentacles and glaring eyes and gnashing teeth.
And Merrick, you are willingly swallowed into the maw. So, now you begin your fight for survival.
Mm-hmm. Do I roll initiative?
Yeah, let's get initiative up. Let me make sure it's clear first. Yep, it's clear. Anyone who wants to can roll that up. Oh, it wasn't clear. It just didn't show up until you guys rolled.
Actually, wait then.
Who do I need to add? Sophia.
I mean, I can just roll again and change it. Yeah. Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, and Merrick, who's over here. Add turn. Okay.
Now I'll
It-
roll.
We would have asked before we got to this stage from Akbar if we can help kill this creature or if that's against the ritual.
Assume he has to cut it out. So
I mean, he has to cut himself free. It doesn't say we can't kill it and then he can cut himself free.
Michael?
He would have basically said that it doesn't matter how he exits the worm.
All right.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
All right. All right. I don't have many ways to hurt this thing.
I mean, just go up there and smack it a few times. I've seen how big your hammer hits for.
I didn't volunteer for this on purpose.
So is it my turn then? All right.
First up on the turn order.
Alrighty. So, as he gets swallowed and kind of is sliding down the gullet, he's going to draw the Beastbane dagger and basically just drag it, almost like a going down parrot going down a sail, and just kind of easing his descent and guiding his descent, basically as he deals 2 attacks with the dagger. You have to roll anything for like naturally attacks, but
So
is there any sort of penalty?
there are 4 or 5, depending on what you count as what, but they're basically 5 ways to get out of this that I can think of. You can do a strength check. You can do attack rolls. A strength check to climb out. An attack roll to cut yourself out. An escape artist check to kind of slip through and maybe out the other end of the worm. Or a survival check to maybe do something with, because when you get in, it's basically like a big furnace in there. It's hot. And you don't know a lot about this thing's biology, so maybe something with its biology.
I'm going to stick with first trying to cut myself out.
Spellcasting.
You should read that. You've got freedom of movement, so you should read that about escape checks.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's just right now, Merrick's trying to prove this to himself a bit.
I desperately want you to do the escape artist where you crawl out this worm's asshole and come up to the surface covered in boiling worm shit, and Theobald's gonna be like, "Well, you feel you were born? You're covered in shit."
That's also why Merrick's not going that route.
Pretty much the way you look when you get born.
All right. So your attacks, 21 and an 8, right?
Yep.
You are not able to break through the interior of this worm's body with those knives. It's the blades just slip off of whatever the inside is coated with.
Does Beastbane give +2 attack?
Yeah, it's already in there.
Does it pass DR?
No, it does not.
I can never remember Bane.
Yeah, it never does.
Well, you have to hit to get damage resistance.
Yeah.
Merrick did not. Vic
is cheering and clapping loud.
the ground. Very majestic. Let's go, Merrick. Let's go.
Hoo. Yes.
Kier.
Honestly, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yep, so I'll just pass turn. So always a chance he'll cut himself out, right?
Right?
I mean, it's
Do I
only
wait
been
here, or do I kill it?
3 seconds. It's only been 3 seconds.
I mean, I think we should kill it.
I'll wait here then. I'll wait.
Okay.
Eric needs his closure, apparently.
Merrick.
And they go into the ground.
I had a feeling.
He can still kill the worm underground. I mean, if the worm's smart and it starts dying, it'll come
He'll
up
be
and spit him out.
suffocated and crushed under thousands of pounds of dirt.
Oh,
Anyways.
a smart worm will bring him up and throw him out. Spit him out.
Oh yeah, if he spits him up, he'll have to, because that's how that works. But
Is it Sophia's turn now then, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if the worm was doing something before my turn started.
or actually, well, it'll be on Merrick's turn that he ends up taking damage because he got swallowed. So
Gotcha.
the worm isn't attacking anybody; it's just going underground.
Okay,
Did we lose them on the turn order?
Yeah.
because they're hidden right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't skip over Merrick.
So first I need to know, when my summoned creature that's inside with Merrick smites bias, is this thing neutral of any kind?
You can't target it. It's underground.
My summon can though. but I
Oh,
sense
you're
it
right.
there.
You are correct. Let me see. I reckon it's probably neutral. Let me see.
Yeah, I assume it is, but I just want to double check.
Yep, it's true neutral.
Okay, so this thing is just going to make 4 claw attacks against this thing, as it's just trying to strike at its belly. And if any one of those do damage, he needs to roll a fortitude save for each one that does damage.
There was a slip, there was a slide, and then there was a cut as one of the claws finally finds an in on the slippery interior skin and shreds a laceration down one of the ducts that you are being pushed down.
Just to see if it confirms the crit. No. Okay. Okay, so that would be 11 damage from that crit. It needs to roll a fortitude save.
Okay.
Probably a pretty high for this giant worm, but there's a chance. Yep. Okay, carry on. Sophia is just, as a precaution, going to cast haste. Actually, she's going to actually move over to here and cast haste so it hits Vic too, just in case.
Thanks. Like
That
my
gets
blood
all of us.
pressure wasn't high enough.
That's my turn.
Okay. Merrick.
I think it's
I'm going to try to cast Frigid Touch. That would be a concentration check, I believe.
Yep.
Right. What is that? Is there a button for that, or is that just a?
I think you hit the concentration button on your
It's
spell.
usually
right there.
just caster level, I think.
Oh yeah, I never know. So you could just.
Yeah, where it says concentration under that spell. Oh no,
Well, I can't do it because I don't have access
Oh.
to the sheet. But
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Do we know
I'm not
what
sure what
the
you're
DC is?
rolling for, but I'm pretty sure that's a good roll.
Yeah.
That's true. Doesn't the concentration usually go against an attack?
I think since I'm grappled.
yeah, isn't it just normally 10 plus spell level?
10 plus grappler CMB plus spell level.
Oh boy.
Well, that's not going to be good for you.
No.
Grappler's CMB is 35 plus 37
Fuck.
against Bull Rush plus 39 against Grapple.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so that does not work then.
All right. Good to know.
Wait, look at freedom of movement.
Freedom of movement might make it so you can do that anyway.
All
To move and attack normally while underwater. Oh, underwater. Haha.
all combat maneuver checks made to grapple the target automatically fail. Subject automatically succeeds on any combat maneuver check, and escape artist checks made to escape a grapple or a pin.
So theoretically, he's inside of it, but he's not actually grappled by it.
Yeah, the spell allows the subject to move and attack normally while underwater, even with slashing, such as axes and swords or bludgeoning.
I mean, I imagine that would, yeah. So I don't know if I need a concentration check. GM. If I'm not hindered by his swallowing, would it really mess up my ability to cast a spell?
It allows you to move and attack normally for the duration of the spell, even under the influence of magic, or that would usually impede movement, such as paralysis, fog, slow, and web.
Let Michael make a
Yeah, you're not
decision,
under
though.
the influence of magic. You're under the influence. You're not under the influence of magic. You're under the influence of being in a digestive system.
Well, it says you can touch and or this is maybe use to touch to move and attack normally for the duration of the spell, even if under the influence of magic that usually impedes movement.
Yeah, Michael, would you read it real quick? It's pretty short, but I want to make sure you see everything it does.
Move or attack
I
normally.
put it up. It's if you scroll up just a little bit, the description's right there.
Move and attack normally for the duration of the spell, even under the influence of magic that usually impedes movement. Blah, blah, blah. Switch automatically succeeds on any combat maneuver checks and escape artist checks made to escape a grapple or a pin. I don't think this is either. I think it's technically its own thing, isn't it? A swallow hole.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean
a little
it is.
different. Because
It's
usually you have to grapple before you get swallowed whole.
Yeah,
since
it's
he
so that's just
allows
for
it-
that effect for automatic.
It's a weird situation because freedom of movement would normally just let you never get swallowed whole.
Yeah, but you willingly allowed yourself to get swallowed. So
Yeah.
now that you're in there,
Unfortunately, I think a spell
It's-
fails, guys.
Yeah, I think
it's
the
not.
spell fails.
Well, I'm thinking, but yeah, it's not a bonus. It just lets you automatically succeed, huh? Interesting.
So if he goes through the whole digestive tract, he'll come out nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look
He'll
at the
come out
bright
under the
side,
ground.
Merrick. You'll no longer be an orphan because that worm will be your mama.
Actually, it's probably. Let me see.
Like if you come out,
got
I want you to say "Heidi ho."
Sorry, what'd you say? Oh, you're still thinking.
Yeah. It's interesting. It does say you won't automatic. Is that all the spell does? Or it lets you move normally, so you'll be able to move normally without penalties, but you're not going to get an
and attack.
automatic.
It also says attack normally.
Yeah, I'll allow you to move normally and attack normally, but you don't automatically get the success on the escape artist and grapple because you're not being grappled. You've been swallowed whole, which
Okay.
is a different thing in
fair.
Pathfinder.
What about the concentration check? Do I need to roll concentration, or because I could, attack normally, I could presumably cast spells normally?
Yeah, I'll yeah. Well, I don't know because you're about to
Especially because it's a touch attack.
yeah, yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. I'll still roll the attack. There. It's just a base melee, right?
Yep.
I don't have it. Okay. 14 touch.
As you attack, you are going to experience a great retraction as the muscles and all of this worm's body move you. Machine. And you will take 4d6 from the writhing maw.
Plus 5 from what I recall of Gear's spell.
And then you have fire resistance, don't you?
This
Yeah.
isn't fire.
Yeah,
This is
no,
just
it's-
crushing.
Gotcha.
Bludgeoning, technically. Yeah, 46.
All in all ones. Oh.
There's 10.
So 5 damage.
And then, as you end your turn, you will get 66 half acid, half fire.
So 30. So 2 of one and 1 of the other.
Yeah.
Thank God for those spells. Turned
Yeah.
all that damage into 8 damage.
Oh.
What's
Quite
that,
helpful.
66?
Wait, you've got 30 fire protection and 30 acid protection.
So you took none of the 23.
Oh, okay.
I don't think his fire and acid can actually hurt you.
Yeah, it's the bludgeoning that you're gonna slowly get hurt from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he rolled real low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I think Merrick's going to do well. Any suggestions on what we could do to help him?
I mean, when it gets up, start hitting the thing.
Yes, take your thumb, stick it in your asshole, and blow.
I don't think I've read that in one of my books recently.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think you should be saying that to teenage girls.
I was saying it to you, Vic. I'm just sitting on this rock, smoking my pipe, staring daggers at the guy across the way from us.
I mean, if you have a buff spell, you need to get out, Vic. I think it's your turn.
Yeah, it's Vic's turn.
I mean, I'm looking. I don't really know any way I can hurt this creature. I don't really have any attack spells.
I mean, you could always throw something heavy on the sand again and try to get it resurface.
Yeah, that's a great idea. He'll keep throwing rocks and cheering.
What's
And,
your constitution, Merrick? Sorry, I gotta pause you for a second because I just realized
You're
something.
14.
14. Okay. It probably won't be that big of a deal. Actually, let me check something. Now my computer's being slow. There we go. So right now, Merrick, to start this encounter, you had 28 rounds before you ran out of oxygen.
Mhm.
You acted on just one round, so it'll just be -2. Every round you lose one, and every time you take actions, you lose a round of oxygen. So you have 26 rounds of oxygen left
Okay. I'll put a counter.
before you start suffocating as well.
Mhm.
And by rounds of oxygen, that's how long you can hold your breath. Pathfinder just lets you do it for a really long time.
Yeah.
You.
2.5
Well,
minutes.
as
and then
Vic's
2.
tossing some rocks onto the ground and still cheering, he goes, "Wonder how long that thing will stay down for. How long could you think Merrick could hold his breath?"
I'm sure there's oxygen in the stomach.
Yeah, he's probably fine. It's like the inside of a whale, right? Where you can
Yeah,
just sit
Jonah
on
and the
the
whale.
raft.
I saw that
Exactly.
episode of VeggieTales.
I mean, Pinocchio stayed alive for a long time in there.
Bro, that fucking celery stick, he was fine in there. So
Yeah.
this is probably
We're not
fine.
digging his corpse out.
What?
Just announced to the group.
He's gonna be fine.
Power just dimmed for a second, and again.
Sure.
Tell the hamsters to pedal faster.
All right, Vic, what are you doing?
He's just throwing rocks and chatting with the team, waiting for the action to come back around.
All right, here.
Right, might help to unmute. Could you make it maybe summon something else to make you think there's more food up here? Like,
I mean, yeah, I can do that. I'm just trying to think of anything that might try to bite that might be able to help the damn thing help him get out.
I mean, maybe we all run out there into the middle and dance around for a minute, and then run back up here on the rock. It made a big, ground shaking before it got up here. I think we could get away.
She starts skimming through her books. Would a bullet normally be its bread and butter for eating? I can summon one of those.
Yeah, these things eat bullets for breakfast.
Do it.
Unfortunately, it's lunchtime, so
Mhm.
Order 4 to 6 of them.
I can only summon the one of them.
If you could
Really?
summon 4 to 6 bullets,
Only
Are they-
one, he
that would
said.
be
I can only summon one until next time I get a higher spell level for my summonings, because then I can summon 1d3.
Jesus Christ. You're gonna
I
roll
just
up with a
don't-
fucking pack of bullets to every combat?
I can summon 1d3 Ankylosaurus's.
Yeah, summon that. How is 1 bullet stronger than 1d3 Ankylosaurus?
I don't know. My
right,
book
because
just
the
says they're
bullet
stronger.
could burrow.
Oh, yeah, we'll send the bullet after him. I don't know. I really don't know. You might be right, Theobald. He might be fucked. Proper fucked.
He's the one that wanted to be reborn.
Well, I guess it does start with proper fucked.
Mm-hmm. I gave him methods to cheat, but he wasn't interested.
I still believe in him. Go, Merrick. Go, Merrick. Sorry, y'all. My
Theobald.
allergies have completely closed up my sinuses.
No worries. Out of character, me wants to prepare something, but I really feel like Theobald would just sit here and wait for the time being. So I guess I pass again.
All right. For the people up top, the rumbling gets a little quieter this round.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Worm's moving away. If there's something you
Worm-
wish to do, do it now.
The worm's near the train.
And that's our last way out of Wormtown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before it's gone, the Chaos Beast is going to make a few more attacks. I doubt any of those are going to hit the thing.
Yep, slipping and sliding.
Okay, so I am going to summon something else. I'm just debating if I want to summon the blood or something else.
Oh, wait. Merrick, you have dark vision, don't you?
Yes.
You see, disturbingly, that one slash that the Chaos Beast was able to get off last round is slowly healing itself and sizzling itself shut.
Cool, cool, cool.
As you discover it has fast healing. Sophia!
I'm just deciding what to summon here.
We're gonna need Theobald to go in and teleport him out.
You know,
that's not how that
I'm just gonna
works.
summon a bullet. That seems like the best course of action right now to kind of get it to come back. And I don't know where it is, so it's just going to summon right where he was eaten, and it's just going to start burrowing around in a circle. Try to get
Yeah.
it to come back.
Merrick.
All right. Seeing the offensive approaches are not working out well, he is going to try to rely on his survival know-how and see if there's a way he could, like, especially if he could utilize stuff from his, like, animal first aid kit to just, like, evoke a regurgitate response, or more specifically just something that might coax it to need to go to the surface if he knows of worm, physiology.
Poison that bitch.
13's probably not going to do it.
Let me see. So you're not really trying to escape. You're just trying to get it to go back to the surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I get any bonuses for, like, again, emptying a entire container of, like, medical bits from a healer's kit. Probably not, given its scale, but you never know.
Okay.
Or a veterinarian's kit, I should say more specifically. I'll just remove that from the character sheet.
Well, Merrick, you don't know much about giant worms
Mhm.
that roam the Cinderlands, but what you do know is that most things have a reflex to throw up if something's going down in the rumbly tumblies. That's what you get with the 14.
Okay.
And he can't open his mouth underground or his mouth will fill with thousands of pounds of dirt and sand.
Right. What else can I do? I think I'll give it one more sec to see if it. Yeah, give it. I don't know. Do I have ability to attack again? Like, was
I
that
would say
knowledge?
yeah. I would say yeah. That wasn't you attempting to escape, so I would say yeah. You get another chance if you want to.
So then, in this case, I'll try give it the rumbly tumblies by using stone call in its stomach, or wherever like might be a sensitive portion of its anatomy that I could access.
Give me a knowledge nature.
Because I know this thing eats dirt, but I imagine it can't. Isn't
Oh
designed to
man,
access
I have a great idea that would have worked if we had thought about it.
knowledge.
ahead of time.
What? Sorry, not what. What did you want me to roll?
Knowledge nature, I think.
10.
Yeah. No. I was gonna give you some advice based on what you just said, but a 10 doesn't quite get you there. But yeah, trying to. So what does that do? That spell?
Let me. Like.
Okay.
Like I do a heal check to see if like I could have identified like where might have been the most sensitive area to do that from, or is it just I am where I am, so it is where it is?
Well, the only thing is that I would imagine this thing eats a lot of sand and dirt. On
Sure, I know, but that's why I'm like, is there any area that I could think of? Like, is this stomach designed to have rocks and dirt, or is it specifically filtered out? Is the wound that was caused large enough for me to put it like in like the body cavity wall rather than within,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. See if that's.
Try and shove dirt in the wound. I like that. Yeah, you can give me a heal for that. $32. Yep, it'll definitely start making its way up to the surface.
All right.
Not its turn.
Yeah.
And that was your action.
Yep.
So this round, 4d6 crushing. And 66 acid and fire.
So minus 8. Yeah, 8. So. And thank God for the resistance.
You got 2 more rounds of air.
Yes, so I am down to 24 rounds.
Yep. Vic.
Out of curiosity, who has that decanter of endless water?
Probably Merrick did.
Because that can create a geyser of water.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 20-foot long, 1 foot wide stream, 30 gallons per round. If anything's going to make this thing vomit you up.
Yeah.
Now, whether Merrick would think of that, that's up to you. But Sophia would ask that question aloud at this point.
Sophia, can't you send messages to people mentally?
Yes, I can.
Cope's like,
You
stop metagaming and just tell him straight up.
You might tell him that, because that's a fantastic idea. I mean, it's only been 12 seconds. He hasn't been down there that long. I think it takes a while to kill a beast like that. He can do it.
Well, I'll try to send him a message then. As the bullet looks like it's just playing in the dirt over there, trying to get attention of a worm.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I'm going to yell over to Akbar. So, how many of these worms have been killed?
He holds up a hand, holding up one finger.
Wait a minute. How many people have passed this test?
Hand holds up his hand, and so still only the one finger.
Bart's just sitting on his rock, smoking his pipe. Hand in your pocket or blade to your neck. Ah, it's painful to be right so much of the time.
It's hard to have a brain this profound.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep throwing rocks at the bullet. Help him make noises on the top, because it's my summoning of this worm back to the surface that is going to save Merrick.
Kier.
Well, he's visibly starting to worry. I
been down
don't
there
think
for
there's
a long
anything I can do at the moment.
He pulls out a handkerchief and dabs a single sweat that's going down his side of his face. Oh my.
Kier, calm down. It's only
Alright.
been 12 seconds.
Is there a knowledge roll I can roll? Do worms have minds that are affected by mind affecting things?
Knowledge.
Probably
Nature?
nature, yeah.
Yeah,
Necessary.
nature, or I would say maybe Arcana, because it's a magical beast technically.
Arcana, boom. 25.
All right. Let me check if he's immune to mind affecting.
You know all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
He is not immune to mind affecting. So you would probably know similar worm, like purple worms, not immune.
Yeah.
This thing, not immune.
Do they have intelligence that can be affected by? Do illusion spells in Pathfinder, do you have to have like a 1 or 2 intelligence at least?
No, you're thinking of enchantments. Illusions are mostly visual,
Got it.
so long as you can see, it doesn't matter how smart you are. I just wonder because certain things like Phantasmal Killer are explicitly mind affecting because it's a fear effect, and vermin like cockroaches don't experience fear.
Got it.
All right. There might be something I can do. No guarantees. People will have to admit that this was a bad idea and America's stupid for attempting this.
Well, I mean,
I
you're
think
going to
when
have to
he's
get that out of him
successful,
after you
we'll
rescue
all-
him.
Yeah, we'll all know after he's successful that it was the right thing to do. Guys, it's only been 12 seconds. He'll be up. He'll make it.
Fair point. I'll do nothing. I recline.
All right, Cinder Maw's making its way up to the surface, but it doesn't get there this round. Sophia.
Give me 1 second. Just double checking something.
It's funny to me because out of character, obviously, I don't want Merrick to die. But in character, Theobard's like, well, this is natural selection at play.
Yep.
One less orphan.
Just having the bullet play around in the sand, Sophia.
Oh, sorry. I was checking something before I make my decision. I have a lot of summon options, so I just wanted to double check something.
How many things can you summon at once?
Every time I summon one, it just dismisses the old one.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so bad news is I can't actually use the message spell because 1 inch of dirt or stone will block it, and they're currently under the ground. So
Yep, that'll do it.
Could you prepare it for when he comes bursting out?
well, I mean, it'll still be blocked by the flesh of the worm.
Oh,
I am just going
then-
to
then
prepare.
wouldn't it be? Sorry, I was gonna say, wouldn't it be blocked by your skull and your skin if you're trying to send it
Is
to
your
somebody?
skull an inch thick?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would think so.
Listen, Vic, I barely know how my spells work, let alone the fine nuances of it. Okay.
Man, I can't wear
Yeah.
my inch thick winter coat while I play D&D.
I'm just gonna hold
Fucking
my
bullshit.
summon monster action to summon something different and replace the bullet when the worm comes up.
Walking around like you're ready to negate small arms fire.
That's all I'm gonna do. The bullet's just gonna keep spinning around that spot.
Merrick, it's back around to you.
All right.
You're the best around.
Around.
No one's
I'm
gonna
going to-
digest you.
I'm going to ready in action with the vial of the golden like shrinking berry and break it once the worm surfaces. And then from there, I'm going to just rapidly try to crawl out towards the mouth, relying on freedom of movement to ideally help me as the thing presumably shrinks behind me. So that is my plan.
All right.
So ultimately, you want to wear him as a sock on your hand. Got it.
Give me a strength as you try to crawl out.
It's ready to action at the moment because again, right now that's right now the immediate thing is ready in action for when this thing surfaces to
Okay.
break the
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and make it small.
All right.
Also, swallow your pride. You got a strength check to go out the mouth. It's escape artist to go out the butt. And
I'm
you
going
pass
for the
those
mouth
au-
first.
You pass those automatically.
I
I
know.
was, I was making this encounter and I was like, you can either go with the flow of traffic or you can go against it.
It's just
take 10
sand,
damage
rocks,
for
and
being
were
crushed.
rats.
61.
All right, Vic.
Rah, rah, ree. Kick him in the
Here.
knee.
You got to think of the next round where I'm not going to go. That's the next person.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could maybe try to fly and spot the Wormsign, but
The Abard.
I'm putting my feet up. I'm waiting. Let him get his rebirth or whatever. And he's gonna be really disappointed if he lives through this. Then he discovers emotionally he's still just the same person and has changed absolutely nothing.
That can be a change in and of itself.
Splash! So they all come back up except for your summon there that's gone.
Ready to action.
Hey.
Yep, ready action.
Same with me after he's done.
So
Big cheers. Yeah.
I don't know what needs to happen with the berry. Like I
Well, it
fed it to it.
the yes. So I have the item right here. The part where you get it to eat it is, I think, pretty well settled.
Yeah.
So it's a DC 14 Fortitude save.
Oh, it's got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
unless it
looking
gets
for
a
a
natural
natural
one.
one. It was a
Yeah.
Hail Mary, but I didn't
Yeah,
make
yeah,
the
yeah.
item for.
I'm hoping it works. That'd be awesome
So
if it.
it'll become a small-sized magical creature.
Fort save or shrink back to a tiny little sperm.
Come on. Please.
How great would it be?
It would be
Yeah.
so cool.
All right. Here we go.
33.
Yep. All right.
I didn't have anything else to use the magic item for. Totally magical item though. Pup shape was a spell I didn't know was a thing. It's pretty funny.
I offer you a devil's bargain, Loki.
Mm-hmm.
All of your hero points for that working.
Done.
Caveat I didn't tell you about, it doesn't work right away.
Okay.
Sophia.
Okay.
I am going to summon because I assume it bursts out with the mouth going straight up in the air.
Yep.
I'm going to summon a satyr that just dives right into its throat. With the command to tell Merrick about the decanter of water.
Quickly, someone cast Hold Wurmple.
And the satyr just goes down, sees Merrick.
Yeah.
I was told to tell you to use the decanter of water. And then it just dissolves in the fire and acid because it's a low health creature. But it's like the easiest one I can summon that can speak.
For freedom! What are you telling them they're fighting for?
But that was my held action, so I get a turn now after it was able to get in there and tell him that.
Yep. Merrick.
Wait, no, I still have my turn. That was just,
Oh.
that was my prepared action. Sorry. My standard action is just I'm gonna start summoning my dad. So that's all I'm doing for my turn. So it is Merrick's turn now.
Merrick.
So it was create water, right? That's what you.
So and I told you to use the decanter of endless water because we were asking and you said you probably were the one that had it. And
Oh, right.
the decanter of endless water has an ability you can use called Geyser, which produces a 20-foot long, 1-foot wide stream of 30 gallons per round. That's quite a lot of water.
Shit, yeah, then great idea. Yeah, on his action, he's going to point that downwards and again try to get out as, again, hoping this thing is shrinking behind him.
Yep. Splashing that water down, that will no roll necessary. That's going to make it immediately vomit you up, Merrick. As that water splashes into its internal flames and heat and creates a steam geyser that bellows out of its mouth. But you will also be taking damage from that steam.
Okay, that's fine. What are the odds I could use Azure's action to transform into his normal shape and then catch me midair?
Just scream, "Someone, bird like, get in my way!"
Right, right. Just a question, but I'll still, do
Well,
whatever.
this is almost over, so since you gave me all your hero points, I'll just call it Rule of Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Done. I deleted it from my character sheet.
So you get splashed out.
Wait,
and
did you drop the decanter?
No.
Or the hero points? Okay, good.
Yeah. No. No. Still got the decanter.
Okay.
It's a helpful item.
And the water all
Otherwise,
seeps
go back in there and get it.
into the ground, and then you guys notice the worm flopping and flailing and also shrinking gradually until it shrinks and shrinks, and it's only as large as a house, and then only as large as a horse, and then a cat, until the worm is only about 2 inches long. And
Gonna
it's
dimensional hop out there and grab it. So we can give it as a present to the Shawati.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't think it's gonna stay like that.
it only lasts a couple minutes.
Oh fuck!
I have
Drop it and
a
dimensional hop
stupid
back.
idea. Vic, grab it and bring it to me.
I mean, I think it's Merrick's decision, out of character.
Yeah.
Merrick's decision what happens to it. It's kind of his moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
but combat is over.
Out of character, how does it work? Is it like if does it have presumably as many hit points as it was, or is
Yes.
it like
It is you don't okay, so while in this form the target has only 1 HD, maximum hit points. Has target has -4 to strength, constitution, intelligence, and wisdom to the minimum of 1. Begins a +4 bonus to dexterity and +2 natural AC bonus.
okay? So
I mean,
basically, but
basically
it
it's
only
gonna-
has a handful of hit points, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's whatever its HD is, only one of those plus its reduced con.
Quickly, make a onesie out of it and become the God Emperor.
It is unlikely it has more than 20 hit points.
Yeah. Trying to think
I
how I
love
could.
the tiny token.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't think of anything, I have a stupid idea that could be fun later.
Okay. Oh, call lightning.
Quick.
There we go.
We'll go that route.
You just hold the worm up and lightning strikes it.
Pretty much.
And doesn't
Declare him Simba.
But Akram would shout out from the rock he sits crisscross atop, and he would say, and thus the rebirth is made whole once more in ways even I could not foresee.
Good.
He would get
Sorry.
America's there just looking majestic,
Mhm.
Upon his hippogriff. Actually quite proud of himself. And very at the same time very appreciative of all those that helped him in this
Merrick.
foolish venture.
See, Theobald, he totally had this.
Mm-hmm.
We only helped a little.
Merrick did this by himself. Merrick did this by himself. Had no help from exterior wizards. Merrick did this by himself.
The endless
Cool.
stream of summons flew into the worm's mouth.
Just every
And
turn, a
magic
new one
berry
spilled
given
in.
to him by a wizard shrunk it.
Vic walks over and gives Kira the 3 gold pieces he owes him. You win some, you lose some.
I take the good with the bad.
There you have the facts of life.
And that's right at 10 if we want to call it there. I don't know how much longer.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's a solid ending point right there.
Man,
I just want to say real quick, I feel like that was a very awesome, great burn of hero point.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't even a thought.
Love the ruler cool behind it too.
Oh,
Everything just worked out well cinematically.
Yeah, well, it's not a like if it were a super serious combat encounter, it might be different.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you're not exactly meant to fight the Cinder Maw.
Yeah.
You have to find a way around it because this thing would not have been easy to kill.
Yeah,
You
no,
just needed to fight it.
I realized that once I tried to stab it, it's like, 35 to hit. Well,
And also heals.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, okay.
Wait a minute.
Now to get creative.
So if you kill it, we get the experience for it, and we'll level up like 3 levels.
We don't do experience leveling.
know.
You know this.
This is precisely the
It's like
reason
back to
we
80
don't do
second
experience
edition.
that way.
Before I go, I just want to share. Like, I have a list of like fucking trashy romance novel names for like the books that Sophia reads after the last time we played. I'm like, this just seems like an in character
Hit us
reason
with
why
them.
someone's weird shit. So these are all names of real books, by the way, that I have written down.
Oh my god.
There's Hot and Badgered. The time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf. I'm in love with Mothman.
Oh,
That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Undead and unwed. Emily's magical bejeweled codpiece.
I want to read that.
Yikes!
Mad, bad, and dangerous and plaid.
Let's be clear about one thing. No one in the world is dangerous in plaid.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, those are just some of the names that are like. All these are names of real books,
Yeah.
and I'm just
That's,
like, why?
That's awesome.
Oh, that werewolf one is that someone genuinely thought that that was a good idea for a book.
There's so many different werewolf ones too. How to flirt with a
Yeah.
naked werewolf. The time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf.
Yeah, it's a whole subgenre.
I'm sure.
How many of these have you read now, Richard?
None.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you read the titles, so you read them.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
You know what they say? Judge a book by the cover.
Yeah.
I mean, with those kind of books, I think I will.
The cover is meant to give you an idea of what the book is about.
Well, it's Leonardo DiCaprio hugging another vampire.
It's
Well,
literally
nice to
there
know.
for you to judge by it.
Nice to know the trashy romance novels are catching up with isekai entitled like
Yeah.
About to
Really.
say.
Or Dragon Ball Z episode titles.
Man, that's the worst part. I think. Well, not the worst part, but one of the worst parts of isekai is some of the names of these things are so
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yep.
And this is coming from someone whose one of favorite isekais is fucking reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the full title of that is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It implies that
Um,
he did stuff after being a slime, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Which means that there could be a whole other like series of books after he's a slime that he's just in another reality or something. I don't know. But anyway,
This-
my favorite one is ReZero, though, I think.
This is a great example of
Let's
two.
say minor spoilers for a comedy isekai series, but he stops kind of being a slime after like episode 8.
Really?
He goes back
Well-
and hangs out as a slime a lot, but
You
he
could
doesn't
do a
have
lot.
to.
I thought the idea was they were going to do more with him being
I just
a
mean
slime.
he gets the form power pretty early. But
Yeah, he gets the
shit.
ability to change his shape a lot, so he can go into a human form. But he does spend a lot of time as just a slime.
Mm.
I was gonna say the idea of like having your main character be a gelatinous cube type creature is there's potential in that, and like discovering what powers you actually have, even though you're so lame.
Mhm.
yeah, his
All right,
power
let's-
is mostly just being able to steal powers by eating them.
Yeah, his power is
Yeah.
gluttony.
His power is awesome, is what you mean.
His power is Kirby style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's literally Kirby.
No, my personal favorite isekai is a comedic anti-isekai called Uncle from Another World.
Oh yeah, that one was so stupid. I loved it.
The guy in the in the 90s gets hit by a truck, gets isekai into a fantasy world, and then 20 years later he wakes up from a coma back in reality with his magical powers, and he tells his nephew everything that happened to him, and it was every single trope, but he engaged with none of it. He wanted nothing about it. The attractive elf girl following him all around that's totally not in love with him, he clocked nothing. He thought she was horrible, and he didn't know why she was stalking him.
Yeah.
Since we
knew
were
each
talking
other.
about
They knew each other for 15 years. He never told her his real name.